access heat and electricity. The minister's visit comes as Russia reveals it's detained a suspect over the killing of a top general in Moscow. Russia says the suspect's an Uzbek citizen who was recruited by Ukrainian intelligence services and claims he was promised a $100,000 reward and permission to move to a European Union country for planting and detonating a bomb in a scooter, as well as setting up a live stream camera at the site.
The federal government has approved a new transmission project in New South Wales. The $4.8 billion Hume Link project will see the construction of 365 kilometres of high-voltage transmission lines. The project will connect the Snowy Hydro Scheme expansion to the grid. Shortages of Ozempic are expected to continue through next year. The pharmaceutical company that supplies the drug has advised the supply will continue to be limited. Ozempic is approved for the management of type 2 diabetes, but people looking to lose weight have also been taking Ozempic and a similar product, Wegovy. New Year's Day and Christmas are the worst days on the calendar when it comes to assaults. The Bureau of Crime Statistics has found non-domestic assaults on the 1st of January increased by 166% on the daily average. Executive Director Jackie Fitzgerald says excessive drinking is one of the main causes, with the majority of attacks occurring between midnight and 3 a.m.
We also see people coming together on these days, so both in family situations and social gatherings. That also presents opportunities for conflict to arise and for people to get into disturbances.
Two men who pleaded guilty over their roles in the Bali bombings have been repatriated to Malaysia. The pair have been held in Guantanamo Bay after admitting to serving as foot soldiers for an accused Indonesian terrorist. Turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Jace Camp.
And a good morning to you, Matthew. Let's start with a bit of cricket, and the Melbourne Stars' Big Bash season is off to a horror start after 2 straight losses. Up against defending champions, the Brisbane Heat, the Stars were outplayed on the MCG, losing by 8 wickets.
Pearson with his best night ever, and the title defence begins in great style. What a performance. Undermanned underdogs. They have over-delivered.
That audio thanks to Fox. Meanwhile, in the Test series, all attention now turns to the crucial Boxing Day Test, with Australia and India locked at 1-1. To Formula One, and Red Bull and Sergio Perez have officially parted ways following a disastrous season. Team principal Christian Horner revealing Perez will spend some time away from racing.
He's decided that he's going to take a bit of time out, take a sabbatical from Formula One essentially, and he'll still be involved with the brand and the team, but he's stepping back from driving duties.
Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda are the two front runners to replace Perez on the grid. And finally, Fremantle has signed midfielder Hayden Young to a mega deal which will keep him at the club until 2033. The 23-year-old is now the longest contracted player in the AFL. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Now FIVEAA's forecast.
Start with your tiles first at Lifestyles. Open through Christmas and New Year. Lifestyles Lonsdale.
Sunny days ahead, 34 today, 31 tomorrow. Some cloud, partly cloudy in fact, on Saturday 29 and cooler Sunday 25. Right now it's 20 degrees. More news as it happens on FIVEAA.
Get your taste buds tingling Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. as SA super chefs Callum Han and Themis Crescitas present On the Menu. Discover Sky City's unique culinary excursion at 4 of their award-winning signature venues every Thursday from 6:30 p.m.
$20,000. Want to win it? Here's how. Edwardstown Mazda's incredible 2024 plate clearance sale is heating up. Buy a new, demo or used car from Edwardstown Mazda and you're in the draw to win $20,000. That's right, $20,000. Why would you go anywhere else? Your dream Mazda and $20,000?
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply. T24/1786.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. When you buy 3 Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tires, you'll get the 4th tire free. The perfect tire for your next adventure. City Discount Tires are a proud multi-tire and wheel brand retailer offering great service at great prices. Visit citydiscounttires.com.au to find your nearest store. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
Head to the gorgeous Adelaide Hills for the Oakbank Twilight Races this Friday. Gates open from 1:30pm with plenty of action on and off the track. Perfect for family Christmas parties with hospitality options available online. The Oakbank Twilight Races is family friendly with after-race entertainment including live band Purple Monkey. There's plenty of food options too with food trucks and pop-up bars. Tickets and hospitality options are selling fast. Visit oakbankracingclub.com.au now. Gamble responsibly.
This'll be music to your ears for Christmas. Derringers and Yamaha have teamed up to bring you some absolute Christmas cracker gift ideas. Like Yamaha's premium range of acoustic and electric guitars, digital pianos, and Yamaha acoustic and electric drums. Derringers have special Christmas packs available too, so all the hard work is done for you. Just starting out or getting back into it? Give the gift of music this Chrissy with Yamaha and Derringers. Derringers.com.au.
Harvey Norman's Super Deals. Acer Aspire Go laptop now a super low $315, save $180. Logitech G435 gaming headset now $98. That's half price. Snap up a bargain with up to 25% off Canon cameras and 30% off DJI Mini 3 drones with prices from $518. Be quick, more super savings on mobiles, headphones, smartwatches, all the top gift ideas while stocks last. Harvey Norman's Super Deals. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Go!
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Red and Jade Robran.
Good morning and welcome to 5AA Breakfast. It is 9 minutes past 6 o'clock. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Another beautiful morning outside. We've got another gorgeous day coming up. We've got the Christmas forecast officially with us, 7 days out or 6 days out. But it is looking like it's going to be an absolute perler as I welcome in Jade Robran to the studio. Jade, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tommy. Lovely to be here again on this Thursday morning. I left the house today and I thought, gee, it's a lot lighter than it normally is. And then Luce said we're 2 days out from solstice.
Yes.
Solstice.
Yes,
the longest day, the summer solstice.
Yeah.
The longest day, which is fantastic news because it gives me a few extra hours to do my Christmas shopping that I haven't even started.
Well, we're going to talk about that this morning. Extended shopping hours are going to be coming up, but it is good. Last night I went in the pool with the boys and we were in, about 8 o'clock.
We were still eating at about 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
it was light,
it's
wasn't
still
it?
light and, it's great. You can enjoy the summer nights and longest day of the year, 2 days from now, I think you said. So sunrise was 5:58, it's only about 10 or 11 minutes ago, and then sunset probably just after 8 o'clock tonight.
It was
great.
Beautiful. Do you know what we've got at our house at the moment? It's also bat season. So I live in the Norwood area, and so they must leave the Botanic Gardens, and we have this show every night of hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of bats that are just flying over. Goodness knows where they're going. Maybe to the foothills to munch, I don't know. But it is a spectacular sight. Nearly full moon, that dusk, light, and then all these bats. It's just beautiful.
Do they freak you out, the bats?
No, they don't actually. I find it quite eerily exciting. It's bizarre.
Sunset tonight, by the way, 8:29.
Nice. I will be outside with my glass of vino waiting for my bats. Hey, I've got, I saw a story pop up last night just before I was dozing, and I find this woman unreal. So, you know how last week we were talking about Australian Olympic breakdancer Ray Gunn, right? So there was a musical in Sydney, a comedy musical, Ray Gunn the Musical. And Ray Gunn, the real Ray Gunn, and her lawyers put a stop to it. We've got a clip on the board right now. I want to play it because she's come out and she explained why she wanted it stopped.
It was really unfortunate that the show had to be cancelled so close to the launch. I know the artist would have put a lot of work into it, and that really sucks. Had we known about it sooner, there could have been a different outcome. Not being able to take a joke is not what the issue is here.
Okay, so overnight, her lawyers and herself have sent a $10,000 check to the owners of where this musical was meant to take place.
As
So
like compensation.
as the owner of a small Sydney comedy club. So she has sent her legal bills to this small Sydney comedy club to cover her legal bills. Who is advising this woman? Seriously, I don't think that's right. What do you think of that?
It seems strange, doesn't it? So why did she put a stop to this? Has she come out and said? She didn't really explain it there, did she?
I've been told that it's because she has copyrighted that kangaroo hop. What she's gone out and done at the Olympics is her shtick. She is to make money off her own moves
So
and
she's
grooves.
going to bring her own musical out.
Well, perhaps that's what's coming up. I don't know. But you've made a fool of Australia worldwide with these moves and grooves. Come on, lighten up. Have a bit of fun about it. We're celebrating you. You know, we're not taking the mickey. But then to send that $10,000 demand, whoever's advising her, that's not the right advice.
I think in the court of public opinion, I'm not sure how much weight she's got at the moment, does she?
Well, tell us on the text line 0448 08 1395. Does she have a right to recoup this $10,000 legal bill from the comedy club, or is it bad? I don't know. I'm not for this one.
Yeah, I think my the credibility stakes sort of wore pretty thin pretty quickly. I thought with Ray Gunn, she did what she did. I think then we move on, but she's gotten so much oxygen, I think, and a lot of it, I just go away.
Yeah.
You know.
That's exactly right.
You know.
Do you know, yesterday, so I was sitting at home and prepping lunch, and then my phone pings, and I've looked, and a friend of mine who I hadn't spoken to for ages has sent me a doorbell. You know, if you got the video doorbell.
Yes.
So it was a photo of my son. And I thought, this is interesting. So they call it these days ding-dong ditching. So where you go along, you ding-dong on someone's house and then you run away. So Harry's 11 and I thought, oh no, here we go. So he's got busted. So I've sent him a text with the photo, buddy, what's going on here? So this other mum's called me, the one that Harry was running around the streets with. She goes, let's prank them back and we'll pretend that the police have got onto us and we'll prank them back. Anyway, so we had this whole big fun thing yesterday afternoon. The kids freaked out. It was a bit of a lesson to go, hey, if you're going to ding-dong ditch, perhaps don't keep going back to the same house because they're going to get a little bit annoyed. But then, thankfully, the homeowners, they had a bit of a laugh. We apologised. The kids apologised. And they said, look, they're kids. They're young kids. It's what you do. But it got me thinking, back to when we were growing up, all the fun things you used to be able to do on the streets. I wouldn't come home until the lights went out, and goodness knows what time that was. But it got me thinking, what are all the fun things as a kid that you used to be able to get away with? 8223 0000, because there was a lot more than what you could get away with today, because everything's caught on camera.
Yeah, it is. You're basically a CCTV camera away, aren't you? And they're everywhere these days. We used to go riding our bikes all the time. I reckon at that age, 10, 11, 12, every night after school and on weekends, and we'd stay out until, sunset, so 9 o'clock at night, and it was great times.
Yeah, and there was no Life 360 where your parents could track you.
Yeah, and it was great, and they just used to let us sort of roam free.
Yeah.
Do our thing.
Come home with gravel rash because you go on a sixer on your
Great.
bike.
Or it was raining and you're all falling over in the rain and, just having a great time. Muddy and, just going crazy.
I watched an episode of Bluey yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yes, Margaret sent me the challenge, so I did. I watched an episode.
Well done.
The Moving House episode. So it was an extended version. It was 28 minutes.
How did you find it?
I get it. I get the emotion. I didn't understand how can a 7-minute cartoon about a dog make you emotional.
But it did.
Yeah.
Had the desired effect.
Gosh, it's well done.
Yeah, they do it really well.
It's basically real life, but in cartoon dog version.
And there's kid sort of humour in it, but it also touches the adults as well. That's the beauty of it. And I think that was the secret with The Simpsons for so long before they, really lost their mojo.
And the Disney movies, when you go and take your kids to watch a Disney movie,
and you're laughing.
Or Shrek, and they've got adult hidden jokes in it. But I've moved our kids so many times, and so it hit a chord with me because I thought, maybe I should should have, anchored them down a little bit more. But Margaret, I get it. I'm on board.
A big show coming up this morning. We're going to be talking all things lawn this summer, how to look after your lawn. We'll get the latest weather, the Christmas forecast, of course. We'll head to the US. We're going to talk Blitz Golf, which is coming up tomorrow. Very exciting. We'll talk local politics with Matt Abraham. That plus so much more coming up on 5AA Breakfast.
This Christmas, make like Dasher and rush to Chemist Warehouse for unbeatable prices on all your favourite fragrances. Like Versace Pour Homme EDT 100ml, $69.99. Don't pay $160. Find the perfect fragrance at the perfect price at Chemist Warehouse.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hello, Cherry.
I'm listening.
Save across the entire range with Southern Cherry's 2024 plate clearance sale. Plus, receive a gift card of up to $2,000. southerncherrymorfettvale.com.au.
When you're hosting a family Christmas party, you might start with a go-to roast, a drama-proof seating plan, and that gravy recipe that's a family secret. But those in the know find all the answers in the aisles at Pals. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can make sure you have the best wines, beers, and spirits for everyone. And great gift ideas too, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store, Pals, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
What if something we call mini is actually really maxi? You'll know what I mean when you check out Drummond Golf Driving Range at West Beach and play on their world-class 18-hole mini golf course. It's enormously mini! And if you get the urge to swing a little bigger, there's the driving range and the chipping area. 18 mini holes for the mini price of $19.50 with your Drummond membership. It's the perfect idea for your Christmas party. Drummond Golf, for the love of golf.
The sartorial forecast? Sunny days ahead. The newly refurbished Zara concept store is now open at Burnside Village, spanning over 2 floors with an expanded range of women's, men's and children's collections. Discover the pieces that will shape your closet this season. With over 80 specialty stores, Burnside Village is home to the biggest fashion brands, including Scanlan Theodore, Boss and Camilla. Plus, free undercover parking always. Burnside Village, where fashion lives. burnsidevillage.com.au.
Don't miss Cheap as Chips Chippy Rewards Super Sale this weekend.
Cheap as Chips.
Members get up to 30% off fantastic deals like 40% off Christmas dress-ups, 20% off Christmas lights and animated, garden ornaments, outdoor furniture, pet beds, roll-up blinds and shade sales. Not a member? Sign up now online at cheapaschips.com.au or sign up in store before you purchase. Don't miss Cheap as Chips Chippy Rewards Super Sale. Live cheaper this Friday to Sunday with Cheap as Chips.
At Phil Hoffman Corporate Travel, we understand how important peace of mind is for you and your business travellers. With over 30 years' experience, our friendly and efficient travel consultants provide personalised travel management services with valuable and competitive corporate rates for small and large businesses. We ensure efficient and hassle-free travel management with 24/7 emergency assistance and support. Trust us to put your business first. Contact Phil Hoffman Corporate Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
$20,000. Want to win it? Here's how. Edwardstown Mazda's incredible 2024 plate clearance sale is heating up. Buy a new demo or used car from Edwardstown Mazda and you're in the draw to win $20,000. That's right, $20,000. Why would you go anywhere else? Your dream Mazda and $20,000?
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply. T24/1786.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast. Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
21 minutes past 6 o'clock here on 5AA Brekkie. We'll get to the news headlines shortly, but Jade, plenty of action on the text line this morning.
Yes, we put the call out about Ray Gunn because she didn't want her comedy to go ahead, so it didn't go ahead. They canned it, but now she sent the Comedy Club a $10,000 legal bill to cover her legal costs, which I think stinks. I don't think that's right. Yes, a few of you agree. Hey, also Ray Gunn has gone from a no one to someone, all because she embarrassed our country and herself in front of the world. It's desperately sad. That is from Jeff. And Peter in the Barossa says, Raygun will end up on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Her, searching desperately for a little bit more fame. Another one here. Good morning. My issue with Raygun is that if she had won gold, she would have wanted all the praise. Unfortunately, she didn't, which means you need to be gracious in defeat. Whoever is representing her, though, she needs to step away from the limelight as they are doing more damage to her credibility than good.
Keep them coming, 044808 1395.
Yeah, we've got a couple of Wallace Cinema passes to give away. Stacks of really good blockbuster movies coming out. So call in, let us know, what are your thoughts on Raygun? And also we want to step back in time. What did you get up to as a kid? Because my kids got busted ding-dong ditching yesterday. It all ended up in a bit of a laugh, which was good, but Sam just came in before and he goes, my day it was called ding-dong dashing, and we used to do it all the time. What's kind of cool in all of this is that kids these days, even though there's, technology and all of that, they still want to be naughty little rascals.
They're kids, aren't they?
Yeah.
And look, that's pretty harmless. All they're doing is ringing the doorbell and then running away. Yeah, that's all.
It's annoying, but it is fun. Robert here says, ride my bike, but Mum made us take 20 cents just in case you could phone home if you got into trouble. She got really mad once when I got a flat tyre 45 k's down the road and she had to come and get me, but had to be home by dark. That was the rule. That's a fair bike ride for a day, 45 k's. That's nearly making it to your Aldinga.
That would have been an hour and a half to get 45 k's away. That's a long way.
Yeah, I have lots of messages here on Raygun, though. Andrew says, Raygun is a joke. How did she even make it to the Olympics? Seriously, though, how? All the break dancers in the whole entirety of Australia, surely there was someone.
Well, is it that popular a sport? Maybe that people didn't really even know it existed. I don't know. Is there a big community for it?
Well, my cousin's kids do break dancing, so there is a generation of younger kids that are coming up doing it. So I would have thought that someone can whip out something other than a kangaroo hop.
Yeah, it was pretty poor.
Surely. Anyway, let's get today's headlines.
Yes, let's do it.
The foreign minister is in Kiev for a meeting with the Ukrainian government almost 3 years since Russia's invasion. Discussions are being held about what military aid the country needs. Tensions are rising as Russia's foreign ministry said it will discuss an assassination in Moscow of the top Russian general by Ukraine at the UN Security Council on Friday. Penny Wong says Australia stands with Ukraine.
We are proud to be the largest non-NATO military contributor to Ukraine. I'm very honoured and privileged to be here. This country and its people have demonstrated extraordinary courage.
Australian author John Marsden has died aged 74. He wrote over 40 books, including the Tomorrow When the War Began series. The Alice Miller School, which Marsden founded, confirmed he died at his desk at home, doing what he loved, writing.
That story really hit me hard. I read a lot of the Tomorrow When the War Began series growing up, and Secret Men's Business, which he sort of aimed at teenage boys and, going through transition into, young adulthood. And yeah, he was a great writer, very impactful. So yeah, very sad.
74 years young. It's very young.
Too young.
A scientific review is linking microplastics to infertility, colon cancer and lung disease. US and Australian researchers have analysed 3,000 studies on the health effects of microplastics, which can end up in the air and water streams. They say there's evidence to suggest they affect our reproductive system and can lead to serious health issues. An Australian plane carrying aid and rescue personnel has taken off from Queensland to help relief efforts in Vanuatu. The holiday hotspot has been rocked by a deadly 7.3 magnitude earthquake, which triggered landslides and brought down buildings. At least 14 people have been killed. Locals say widespread damage to telecommunications infrastructure is making rescue efforts difficult.
The city is completely out of electricity, it's completely out of water.
We know that the hospital is overrun with casualties being brought in.
Aussies have spent less time and money taking day trips in the past year. A survey by Tourism Research Australia has found in the 12 months to September, Aussies took 198 million day trips, but that was 11% lower than the previous year, spending around $3 billion less as well. A 49-year-old Australian mother who fell ill after drinking cocktails at a Fiji resort has touched down on home soil. A toxicology report has ruled out methanol as a potential cause of illness. The Fiji government is asking Australia to lift its travel warning. Retail giants want to introduce facial recognition technology to protect workers from violence. Assaults involving weapons have jumped by a third in the last year. Staff are being punched or verbally abused. Kmart, Target and Bunnings are among the retailers pushing for greater CCTV surveillance in stores.
Good stuff, Jade. Plenty of headlines around this morning as we come up to 27 minutes past 6 o'clock. We'll have a bit of a look at sport now, all thanks to Gliderol Garage Doors. Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors, gliderol.com.au. A bit of a fizzer in the end, the third test between Australia and India. Australia dominated for a lot of it, but I think they missed the trick when they couldn't enforce the follow-on for India on day 4. That was late on. So Australia had to bat yesterday. Now, I heard Tom Moody speak, and he was a bit critical of the Australians. They were 7 for 89, so a lot of batters were dismissed cheaply, so he thinks it might have given India's bowlers some momentum heading into the 4th test in Melbourne, which is the Boxing Day test. Regardless, it finished in a draw, more rain. God, it was frustrating. They would have had 3 days' worth of rain for that test match.
Yeah, it was really hard to watch. Travis Head, is he all right?
Yes, they're saying he's going to be all right. Bit of a groin strain, so hopefully going to be all right. They need him to play, Jade. He's the most important player this series for Australia. He's been their best player.
Look, not that I'm a medical expert or anything, but you kind of wonder with all the stop, start, whether that played anything.
Yeah,
your
maybe.
body cools down, then you play, body cools down. So hopefully it's nothing major.
And he'll be 31 during that Boxing Day test. He's, I think, the 29th of December. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday for Trav. He's in the form of his life. But there's going to be some big decisions to make, Jade. Do they stick or do they ditch Nathan McSweeney? There's a bit of talk around him. He hasn't passed 50 yet, so again, didn't get a big score yesterday, albeit they were looking for quick runs. Usman Khawaja is a real concern for me. He's about to turn 38. I think at that stage of your career, your eyes and your feet, they just start to go.
They're not talking to each other.
That's right. You just slow down, and it only needs to be a millimetre off or a millisecond off, and you're just not there. I think they probably have to stick with him for this series, but I think he's done. I think it's time to say, thanks, Usman, you're finished. He wants to go through into the Ashes next year.
Wow.
They went too long with Dave Warner. Don't make the same mistake.
No.
So I think it's time to
And bring
part
Bowen back.
ways.
He was exciting too.
He'll play. Well, Josh Hazelwood's injured, so yeah, I think he'll play.
Come in. Hey, exciting news also, Cruz Hewitt. I just saw got a wild card for the whole tennis season. I mean, we've heard and seen snippets of him. He's the real deal.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a big summer of tennis coming up as well with the Adelaide International here, which is the week before the Australian Open. Brisbane International, they've got the events in Perth and Sydney, so there's a big summer of tennis coming up. It's going to be exciting.
Love my tennis.
And a good bit of football news. Luke Nankervis from the Crows has signed a 2-year extension, which is great for them. So things are going along really well. Sid Draper, we read again, is going great guns with his pre-season, the first-round draft pick. So good news there for the Crows. And a bit of EPL. Arsenal, who are in the title race, they've got some work to do. They're playing at home, but they're 1-0 down against Crystal Palace. So not a good start for them. Liverpool fans, I know we've got a lot listening. They're playing Southampton. That match starts literally in the next minute or so. Jace Kemp will keep you updated throughout the morning. Speaking of the newsroom, we're going to flick you across there now. Matthew Pantella standing by with all the news stories, along with Jace Kemp with all of the sport.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny 34 for Adelaide today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Merry Christmas from the team at Physio Extra's 6 locations, open across the festive season. PhysioExtra.com.
The state opposition claims the government has left critical safety measures for the Southeastern Freeway languishing for 2 years. The Southeastern Freeway Heavy Vehicle Safety Review released 2 years ago today, but measures considered short short term haven't been implemented. Two include relocating the Crossroad stop bar at the southeastern freeway intersection and introducing a slower speed zone before Crafers to help heavy vehicles engage low gear. Shadow Transport Minister Ben Hood says it's time for the government to stop spinning the wheels.
This inaction should cause grave concern for every motorist who travels on the southeastern freeway. How much longer will South Australians wait for action?
The state government says there are now over 13,000 more businesses operating in the state than 3 years ago. Recent quarterly ABS data on business entries and exits in Australia showed the number of businesses operating in SA grew by 2,400 in the September quarter and up by 5,200 businesses the year before. There's mixed news if you're trying to save cash at the petrol pump ahead of the holidays. Nine's Gabrielle Hodson with more.
An NRMA analysis of price cycles in the last 16 days has found Sydney's are dropping after peaking at 200 cents a litre for unleaded and averaging $1.89. Perth and Canberra have the same average price, $1.96, and while it's stable in the national capital, it's trending higher in the west. News Corp says the only way is up for petrol predictions everywhere else, including Melbourne, where the 16-day average is $1.92 and Brisbane at 203 cents. So where's the cheapest fuel? Best to head to servos in Darwin, where it's $1.75, or Adelaide at $1.68.
Australians spent less time and money taking day trips in the past year. A survey by Tourism Research Australia has found in the 12 months to September, Australians took 198 million day trips, but that was 11% lower than the previous year, spending around $3 billion less as well. An Australian plane carrying aid and rescue personnel has taken off from Queensland to help relief efforts in Vanuatu. The holiday hotspot has been rocked by a deadly 7.3 magnitude earthquake, which triggered landslides and brought down buildings. At least 14 people have been killed. Locals say widespread damage to telecommunications infrastructure is making rescue efforts difficult.
The city is completely out of electricity. It's completely out of water.
We know that the hospital is overrun with casualties being brought in.
An Uzbek man has been arrested, accused of this week's assassination of a top Russian general. The BBC's Vitaly Shevchenko says it's alleged the 29-year-old was promised $100,000 and a home in a EU country.
Importantly, the Russian security services and this man are saying that he was acting in the interests of the Ukrainian security services. He had been recruited by the Ukrainian security services, allegedly, and was live streaming from outside General Kirill's house to his Ukrainian handlers, apparently based in the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. So yesterday morning, when they saw General Kirillov and his aide emerge from the house, the Uzbek man pressed the button and the bomb went off.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Matthew. Let's start with cricket, and reigning Big Bash champions, the Brisbane Heat, have opened their campaign in style with an 8-wicket win over the Melbourne Stars. The Heat's Jimmy Pearson starring with the bat, blasting an unbeaten 72.
Pearson dances down. That is crunch. Smashes into the side screen again.
Quality batting that. That audio thanks to Fox. Meanwhile, the test series between Australia and India is now locked at 1-1, with all eyes turning to the crucial Boxing Day test. To Formula One, and Sergio Perez has officially lost his seat with Red Bull after a disappointing season. Perez has been under pressure after Red Bull surrendered its Constructors' Championship to McLaren. Team principal Christian Horner says it's been a tough season for Checo.
There are flashes of old form in Azerbaijan, but unfortunately that didn't translate into points, so it's been a hugely frustrating campaign for him, and of course that's hurt us quite badly in the Constructors' Championship.
Milwaukee has won the NBA Cup, defeating the Oklahoma City. And in the EPL Cup quarterfinals this morning, Crystal Palace is 1-0 up against Arsenal 30 minutes into the first half, while Liverpool and Southampton have just kicked off. And that's the 5AA Sport.
5AA forecast now.
Start with your tiles first at Lifestyles. Open through Christmas and New Year. Lifestyles Lonsdale.
Sunny days ahead, 34 today, 31 tomorrow, partly cloudy Saturday, 29, cooler for Sunday, 25. Right now, 20 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
24 minutes to 7 o'clock on 5AA Breakfast. It is Thursday, December the 19th. Plenty of chat on the text line this morning. And we're getting some calls in too, Jade, aren't we?
We most definitely are. Let's go to Sally in Hillcrest, because this morning we've been chatting about my kids getting busted ding-dong ditching. It all ended in, it was all happy days, but we wanted to hear about what are the fun things you got up to as a kid. 8223 0000. We've got a whole stack of Wallace family cinema passes to give away. Sally, good morning.
Good morning. We grew up in a cul-de-sac, so we used to play cricket, have water fights, all that in the street, because there were very minimal cars coming down. But there used to be a car that would park up the end of the street, and his car alarm... Oh, it was the cool thing in the late 90s, early 2000s, where it would have like 15 different alarms that would cycle through. So Mum had a really big tree in her front yard, and we'd make sure that our tennis ball from the cricket would hit the car, and then we'd bolt under the tree so we could watch his reaction, but he wouldn't see us. Because you couldn't stop it. It would go through all 15, and we'd do this multiple times a day because it was fun. Nowadays the cameras would catch us, but back then there were no cameras.
That's brilliant, Sally. Thank you so much. I grew up in a cul-de-sac as well. It was so fun. And you could do whatever you like because the cars just wouldn't fang down.
Well, and your
now,
parents aren't going to be too concerned, are they? Because there might be 2 or 3 cars that come down a day.
Yep.
They just don't come through.
Sally, you were a naughty rat bag.
We've been talking about ray gun as well, so we're going to get out to Lakeview. Doug wants to join in the conversation. G'day, Doug.
Yeah, good day, guys. Merry Christmas to you. Yeah, I don't mean to sound rude, but I'm sick of hearing about ray gun. I feel really sorry for like Molly O'Callaghan and Jessica Fox, who were absolute superstars in their field, and no one's really talking about them and how successful they were in the Olympics. Everyone's just talking about ray gun, and I think that's a bit selfish of her.
It's crazy, isn't it, to think, you're spot on there, that you look back on those Olympics and the biggest name to come out of the Olympics is ray gun for all the wrong reasons, which I know often happens. And you think of Eric the Eel, but that was a fun story. The whole world championed him on and got him through the pool.
That was in Sydney.
But you look at this one and you go, God, it was just a whole lot of embarrassing.
And in regards to the games, fun games we had when we were growing up, it was this time of year. It was always cricket on out the front yard or on the street on quiet days. We didn't have a busy street either, and used to use a little like old tin rubbish bin that Mum and Dad used to have. That would be our stumps, and that's.
Did you break any windows?
No, we only really used tennis balls. So yeah, and usually I got out pretty cheaply. Tennis was more my game, but you know what it's like. If all the kids are playing cricket, you're playing cricket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly right. Now I know the feeling of getting out cheaply. We were the same. We played tennis balls all the time, so it means you don't break as many windows, but so many good times, isn't it?
Yeah.
You sort of reflect very fondly, don't you, on those days?
How fun was it when everybody used to have their sprinklers on in the front yard, and then you'd play and you get all hot and sweaty, and then you'd run through everybody's sprinklers along the front lawn as well. And another fun thing, you'd go to each other's houses and have about 3 different dinners as well.
Yeah.
Just house hop to
Yeah,
whoever had
doing
the
a
best
lot of that.
dinners.
We were lucky because Mum and Dad still have a big pool at their place. I don't think they'd even do them as big as they do now out at Tetra Gully, and so a lot of people used to come to us, and it was great. It was a happening place. A lot of people came along, and summer days like today, it would be really popular. So it was a lot of good times.
Andrew's messaged and he says, "Hey guys, I grew up in the 70s. There was a large area of undeveloped land along the southern boundary of the airport. We would ride our bikes there and build dirt bike tracks and ramps to jump." That's the other thing. Bikes are coming. Well, I don't know if they've ever gone out, but my boys are going through that period now of BMX bike riding. There's a place in the city called City Dirt, and they're doing the jumps, and then they'll come home and they'll rip up our backyard and build jumps. And I think, you know what, you take away the technology, and they do. It's in there. These kids these days, they still want to go old school,
and it tires them out. It's fantastic.
Yes. Speaking of ripping up backyards.
Well, exactly. The lawn is something that you need to look after, particularly during summer, isn't it, Jade? So our next guest is someone who knows all about that. John Trenorden is the operations manager at Adelaide Oval Turf Solutions, and he joins us on the line. John, thanks so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Good to speak to you.
We actually had our lawns cut yesterday. It seems like we're cutting them every week during summer at the moment. Lawn tips are something that are really important for a lot of people, particularly during summer. What's the number one or two things that you need to be doing to make sure you're keeping your lawn in the best possible shape?
Lawn's pretty easy. It just needs three main things, really. It's water, nutrients, and air. So if you can give them three things, you're going pretty well. Obviously, frequent mowing keeps it nice and green as well.
We're a few days out from Christmas, so if you're wanting lush green, beautiful deck for Christmas Day, from now until then, what are we doing?
From now until then, you're probably, again, looking at keeping the water up to it. You want to make sure that it's got plenty of water through the profile for the roots to absorb. And then for those real lawn enthusiasts out there, it's probably an application of iron just to give it a burst of green before Christmas.
Iron, okay. 82230000. If you've got a problem with your lawn and you want John to fix it, quickly call in now. I got a pool fence popped in on Friday, and the guys popped a glass pane down on my brand new Sir Walter Buffalo deck, which is only 3 weeks old. Yes, exactly. So now I've got this big, round, burnt patch. How do I fix that?
That one is probably just time. You might need to do a light scarify of it just to pull out any of the dead organic matter, and potentially you could look at punching some holes, even with a garden fork, just to get some air back down there. But usually what you find with a quick burn like that, the grass will come back pretty quickly.
It does come back. It's pretty resilient. John, we had a few people around at our place about 18 months ago, and it was a wet night and 100 people would have trodden all over the lawn. It was soggy. It was basically mud. It's basically then just time, isn't it, and sprinkling some nutrients over the top?
Yeah, definitely. Time always helps. In that situation, it would be probably compaction relief as well. So you're looking at either solid pine aeration or even coring it if you can. Obviously, that's an expensive process for some people, or it's too hard. But yeah, if you can get air into your profile, it's going to come back a lot quicker than not having air down there.
Kev's texted in and he said, I had someone come in and mow my lawns a couple of months ago, but it looks like they've introduced a weed. How do I go about getting that out?
It depends on what the weed is. If it's a nice, beautiful cooch lawn and they've mown it with a lawnmower that's come from Kikuyu, you're probably looking at selective herbicides to try and eradicate the Kikuyu, but Kikuyu is extremely good at invading. And then if it's a broadleaf, again, you've got selective herbicides that you can use for that, or you can start the manual labour process of pulling them all out.
And John, is there anything you shouldn't be doing to your lawn during the summer?
Oh, well, depends on what you're into. There's things like backyard cricket. I've got a cricket pitch in my backyard at the moment, and everywhere where the bowler bowls and the batter stands is back down to dirt, basically.
Getting worn away.
Exactly. But the lawn is there for what you want to use it for. So it doesn't look great, but it's a good cricket pitch and it keeps the kids happy. So
What about if you have the slip and slide and you know how they want to use all the detergent in the world? Surely that's not good, but it's fun. How do you rescue it after?
Look, to be honest, the detergent isn't the worst thing. That kind of breaks down the tension in the soil profile, so you actually get a bit of water through into your roots. So at this time of year, we're looking at using wetting agents quite frequently to try and give a nice even water distribution through the roots, which is pretty similar to what your slip and slide does.
So Andy,
obviously,
sorry.
a lot of it is going to be negative. So just trying to, again, aerate it would be a good starting point.
And he's messaged in, he said, I've popped too much fertiliser on and I'm worried with the hot weather tomorrow and the sun, it might burn it. What should I be doing?
Again, water, give it a really good drink in the morning. As long as he's watered the fertiliser in and it's not, the prill's not sitting on the leaf, you should be okay. And then it's just making sure that you've got enough water throughout your profile for the plant to keep growing and using it throughout the day.
And John, you work at Adelaide Oval, which is obviously different to, you know, your normal stock standard backyard lawn. How does it differ though? And goodness, there's a lot of staff and people that make it look incredible. I mean, it looks so good you could almost eat off it whenever you go there. The ground is in such immaculate condition, but it's a lot of time and effort, isn't it, to get it to where it is?
It is. Adelaide Oval is probably quite different to most people's backyards. Most people would have a summer growing grass variety, whether it's your buffalo, your cooch or your kikuyu. Adelaide Oval's 100% perennial rye, which is traditionally effectively a winter growing grass. So a winter growing grass on a sand profile cut at 10 to 12 mil in the middle of summer, it requires a lot of attention. We get a lot of dry spots and a lot of plant wilt. So yeah, it's attention to detail. Again, go back to your wetting agents, making sure that there's enough moisture through the profile for the roots for them to keep growing throughout the day.
Tim has quickly messaged in just saying he got to get rid of white curl grub in a large area. What is the best method?
That one depends on what stage of the life cycle there is. There's a few different chemicals you use between acelepryn or bifenthrin, but again, it's a little bit of a tricky one. You want to make sure that you're following your labels very carefully and using all of your PPE and doing it all by the books, basically.
Okay.
John, thanks so much for all of your tips this morning, and hopefully there's a few more luscious lawns about the place come Christmas Day. Have a fabulous Christmas yourself and look forward to catching up soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, John. And we want to see your lawn pics.
Yes.
We'll put them up on our live stream, so send them on through.
0448 08 1395 will get the best looking lawn. We'll maybe award a prize a little bit at the end of the show. Let's do that. Let's check out the traffic in the meantime for the first time this morning on 5AA Breakfast.
Morning there. Traffic nice and light this morning, or accident breakdown free, so good start to the day. Do have burst water main to look out for at Brighton. It's in Brighton Road near Sturt Road. Got one lane down in both directions, so that'll be pretty slow this morning. Bit of works to look out for at Halleck Cove, Lonsdale Road near Perry Bar Road, and slow at Wingfield for works on the Salisbury Highway to the Wingfield ramp. Got a camera this morning, Grange Road at 6. Looking for great value gifts this Christmas? Amazon is bringing you good tidings and even better value with great prices on millions of items. Shop amazon.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
At Coles, shop in-store for a Christmas instant win. Just spend $20 in-store and scan your registered Flybuys card to see if you've won up to $100 off. Competition ends 1 Jan 2025. Open to AU residents 18 years plus. Limits, exclusions and T's and C's apply. SA permit T24/2055.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're on the hunt for the best student devices, look no further than Harvey Norman. They've got everything from Windows and Chromebooks to Apple computers, all in stock and ready to go. You'll find the biggest range of Windows brands like HP, Acer, Asus and Lenovo. Plus, they've got the latest next-gen AI computers with over 20 hours of battery life. Perfect for school. If you're on a budget, check out their affordable Chromebooks with options under $500. And don't forget about their huge range of accessories and software for both work and education. Need help? Their expert salespeople understand exactly what you need for school computers.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Hi, Brett Ebert here from Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. And your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets a love too with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Ready to step into your best years at Encounter Bay? Ocean View Lifestyle Resort is now selling. Explore our brand new luxury homes with ocean views, And with our health-focused facilities and endless activities, your next phase of life will be your best yet, with pools, gymnasiums, bowling greens and more. Learn more at our new display centre at 1 Banfield Road, Goolwa North. Visit oceanviewresort.com.au.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
Smack bang on 6:51 on 5AA Breakfast. It is time to talk all things weather. John Fisher from the Bureau of Meteorology joins us on the line. John, looks like we've got a bit of a hot one coming up for Christmas Day, and it's going to be pretty warm today as well.
Yeah, exactly, guys. I think similar day today to Christmas Day, so if it's a bit hot out there for you today, maybe you might want to plan for an indoor Christmas. So, yeah, look, starting today headed for 34 degrees and sunny, currently around 21 degrees in the city. So, look, fairly light winds today, probably a good day to, head down to the beach if you can, but, getting hot. And then as we move through the next couple of days, things are just kind of cooling down a little bit. So we don't have any big change on the way, no rainfall on the forecast of note, but southerly winds do strengthen as we move through Friday and over the weekend at times, and that's going to just see those temperatures gradually drop down. So remaining sunny on Friday, 31 degrees. For Saturday, 29 degrees, mostly sunny, and then 25 degrees for Sunday, and remaining kind of in the mid-20s Monday. Very slight chance of a shower those 2 days before we warm back up for Christmas Eve, and Christmas up to 35 degrees and sunny is the forecast for Christmas.
John, when you look at weather patterns, is there much room for movement from now until then, or is it when you say 35, it's pretty much going to be bang on?
Look, I'm not going to lock it in, just yet, but look, most of the models are having a pretty hot day. They've changed a little bit for Boxing Day. It was potentially a hot one then, but it looks like now we might start to cool off with a change coming through either late on Christmas Day or into Boxing Day. So I think a lot would have to change for it not to be a hot day, but yeah, worth keeping an eye on that forecast, especially if you are planning an outdoor one.
Sensational. John, thank you so much. Let's now go to Senior Constable David Backus from SAPOL. Good morning. There's been a house fire at Valley View early this morning. What's happened?
Yeah, that's right, Jade. So about 2:46am this morning, emergency services responded to reports of a house fire on Wright Road. So fire crews found the house fully engulfed, but they were able to stop the fire spreading to neighbouring homes, fortunately. So there was nobody home at the time, which is great, and the investigation is that possible cause is continuing, and crime scene investigators will attend the scene later this morning.
And David, what can you tell us about an attempted robbery that has happened at a jewellery store in Walkerville?
Yeah, so that was about 2:30am this morning. Police were called to a jewellery store on North East Road at Walkerville after there was an alarm activation. So when patrols arrived, they've located a large amount of damage to the front door of the building where someone's attempted to force entry to the business, but the reinforced windows have thwarted their entry, and had they succeeded, they would have found the jewellery was all safely secured away anyway. So a lot of damage for no reason. So not real bright, it seems, but police dog Rusty, he's been brought in and he's done a search of the area, tracking east along Fuller Street, and he's located an empty backpack, which we believe is connected to the crime. So the suspects, however, haven't been found at this time. However, the business has provided some excellent CCTV footage showing three masked men attempting to smash their way in, and those pics will be up on the SA Police News website. So anyone with information about the fire or the jewellery store attempt, if they could contact Crime Stoppers, please.
David, is that Class A jewellers?
We wouldn't identify the business,
right.
But yeah. Yep.
Okay, interesting. Wow.
Yep.
Well, good. Well, looking forward to seeing that CCTV vision.
Yeah, that'd be great if we can get some crooks for that one. So.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That is
Thank
Senior
you.
Constable David Backus there from SAPOL.
Yeah, and I was thinking exactly the same thing. My grandma, who's unfortunately since passed away, she used to live around the corner from Class A Jewellers. So when he was saying Walkerville North East, I was thinking, but...
Yes, well, that's where the pennies... And they've only just done that up. And if you look at it now, I don't know whether it is or not, we'll find out soon, but they've got glass wrapped around the whole front of that store there. And I was only there a couple of weeks ago. And it's all bulletproof and everything proof. So good luck trying to get in.
Well, that's exactly right. It sounds
anyway,
like they...
we'll find out. We'll find out whether it is that. The lawns,
Oh, we're getting some pics.
Pictures are coming in thick and fast, and they are some stunning-looking lawns, people. We are going to pop them up on our social media and crown the lawn king and queen.
Yeah, looking forward to doing that a little bit later. In the meantime, let's talk all things in the US, and 7 US correspondent Tim Lester has been good enough to join us on the line. Tim, good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming on. Talk us through, 2 Bali bomb plotters have been transferred out of Guantanamo Bay prison.
Yes, the Pentagon has confirmed, guys, that the 2 Malaysian detainees, Muhammad Farid bin Amin and Muhammad Nazir bin Lep, have both now finally left Guantanamo Bay to the custody of the Malaysian government, and apparently a program that the Malaysian government runs to reduce the threat of potential terrorists. So that's occurred. They've been in custody, in US custody, since 2003 and in Guantanamo Bay for most of that time. In fact, they weren't charged until 2021, but pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges and have apparently assisted officials in Guantanamo Bay in building evidence against Hambali. Hambali, of course, the leader of Jemaah Islamiyah, the Al-Qaeda affiliate that carried out the brutal Bali bombings 22 years ago in October in those nightclubs that killed more than 200 people. This apparently is assistance to prosecuting and finally bringing Hambali to justice over this, but many will question whether these 2 men should ever have been released.
So what does happen now? I guess we all just wait with bated breath, Tim.
Well, bated breath we've been waiting with for a long time on this case. Obviously, these men were both trained by Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and were essentially assistants to Hambali, helping him evade capture in the early days after the Bali bombings and the other terrorist acts carried out by Jemaah Islamiyah. So some would say they needed to be prosecuted for their own crimes. As it turns out, well, that they've been held a great many years anyway. Others, of course, argue that they should never have been held for that long without charges, and 15 men in Guantanamo are still there without charges all these years later. So it's a very vexed legal argument. But yes, on the Hambali case, we go on waiting.
Yeah, there's a bit going on, that's for sure. Tim, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. We'll watch your story tonight on 7 News. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Great stuff. Tim Lester, US correspondent, joining us on the line. Plenty more coming up after 7 o'clock. Extended shopping hours in Rundle Mall. We'll talk Blitz Golf, which is an exciting golf tournament happening in North Adelaide tomorrow, and local politics with Matt Abraham. All of that coming up after the 7 o'clock news.
Every child deserves a flying start. That's why the Government of South Australia is rolling out preschool for 3-year-olds to improve outcomes for young children. There's never been a better time to explore a career in early childhood, with a growing number of roles, financial support while you study, and flexible career pathways. Play your part in their flying start. Visit earlychildhood.sa.gov.au/flying start. A message from the Government of South Australia.
$20,000. Want to win it? Here's how. Edwardstown Mazda's incredible 2024 plate clearance sale is heating up. Buy a new, demo or used car from Edwardstown Mazda and you're in the draw to win $20,000. That's right, $20,000. Why would you go anywhere else? Your dream Mazda and $20,000?
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply. T24/1786.
There's one sign on Doothie Street Unley you must see. It's the Kirkbride seafood sign. It changes daily, from fresh crays to Atlantic salmon, King George whiting, garfish and SA king prawns. All sustainably fished and processed on site at Kirkbride Seafood. Not some faraway factory. It's a good sign that you're getting the best you can get, and so close to the city. See what's on the sign today. Kirkbride Seafood, Doothie Street Unley, kirkbrideseafood.com.au.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 34 for Adelaide today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Holidaying down south? Physio Extra Victor Harbour is open across the break. Merry Christmas. PhysioExtra.com.
Australia's embassy will reopen in Ukraine almost 3 years after war broke out. The foreign ministers visited the country for the first time since Russia's invasion, confirming the Australian ambassador will return full-time in January. Penny Wong saying our nation remains committed to the people of Ukraine.
Our Ambassador Lehman, who is here with us, will be based here in Kiev, and in the coming months our embassy will be fully operational. In closing, I say again, we are unwavering in our support for the people of Ukraine.
A Valley View house has been destroyed in an overnight blaze. The fire took hold in the Wright Road house at 2:45am. The roof already collapsed when fire crews arrived. Courtney Henderson from the MFS says a cause is yet to be determined.
There were no occupants home at the time and there were no reported injuries. Fire investigators will attend the scene later this morning.
Adelaide continues to have some of the cheapest fuel in the nation. Prices hovering under $1.70 at the low point of the cycle. NRMA data showing regular unleaded costing an average of $1.89 in the Harbour City compared with $1.98 in Victoria. Sydney drivers having cheaper petrol than those in Melbourne, Brisbane and Canberra. Some of the dearest fuel in Queensland. Drivers been slugged more than $2 a litre. The opposition is calling on the state government to act on the Southeastern Freeway review handed down 2 years ago today. The report proposed 16 short-term solutions. None have yet been implemented. Shadow Transport Minister Ben Hood says the government needs to act.
Now, one of those short-term proposals from the 2022 review was relocating the Crossroads stop bar at the Southeastern Freeway intersection. This is a vital measure that needs to be done and was identified as being short-term by the minister and something that could be completed within months. Well, it's 2 years and Labor have to stop spinning their wheels.
Locals in Vanuatu are regaining access to power and water after a 7.3 magnitude earthquake damaged infrastructure. The tremor struck off the main island, triggering landslides and bringing down buildings in Port Vila. At least 14 people have been killed. Vanuatu Business Resilience Council Chairman Glenn Craig telling Today restoration efforts are ramping up.
The main supermarket chain, they'll be open for business as usual tomorrow. Clean-up efforts are underway there now that power's been restored to probably about 40% of the areas. It's coming on progressively, so we're going to have most of power on today through Port Vila. And out in the rural communities, markets are still going. You're buying your fruit and your vegetables, and most things are starting to return to normal.
Search and rescue teams are heading to the region to help with recovery efforts. Turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Jace Kemp, good morning.
And a good morning to you, Matthew. Let's start with a bit of cricket, and the test series between Australia and India is now locked at 1-1 as attention turns to the Boxing Day test. Despite rain restricting the third test at the Gabba, Aussie skipper Pat Cummins says Australia did everything on the final day to try and force a result.
Really proud of everyone going out there and trying to win the test match. You know, we're big on buying into a game plan and a style, and yeah, they all went out there with good intent.
In the Big Bash, reigning champions the Brisbane Heat have opened their new season with an 8-wicket win over the Melbourne Stars. To racing, and Sergio Perez has officially been axed by Red Bull after a horror season. New Zealand driver Liam Lawson is firming as the favourite to replace him on the grid. Team principal Christian Horner revealing Perez will spend some time away from Formula One.
Sad to see him leave the team, but obviously it's time for him to spend with his young family as well and reflect on what he wants to do for the future.
And in the EPL Cup quarterfinals this morning, Crystal Palace is 1-0 up against Arsenal at half-time, while Liverpool is 1-0 up against Southampton. And that's the 5AA Sport.
5AA traffic now.
Morning there, traffic nice and light this morning, which is good. Our accident breakdown free, so you have too many hassles getting to work, which is nice. Still a burst water main getting fixed at Brighton Road near Sturt Road. She's down a one lane both directions, so that will get slow throughout the morning. Hallett Cove has works too on Lonsdale Road near Perry Bar Road, and a bit slow at West Beach 2, Burbridge Road near Gibson Street for works. Early morning camera, Days Road, Croydon Park. Get 40% off at Bonds. Stock up on your faves with 40% off in Bonds full price stores now. Terms, conditions and some exclusions apply. Visit bonds.com.au for full details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA's forecast.
Start with your tiles first at Lifestyles. Open through Christmas and New Year. Lifestyles Lonsdale.
Sunny today and 34, same tomorrow 31, partly cloudy Saturday 29, cooler for Sunday and 25. Right now 20 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Steve Wormald from Walco Liners and Covers out at Paraka. We're a manufacturing business. So far as advertising, we've done a few things. Print, magazines, a couple of spots on TV, but we'd never done radio. Contacted 5AA and were teed up with James Wellham and thought we'd give it a go. Very much James's pitch was that quite distinct from a radio show with music. A talk show, advertising that comes in on Chat Show will be more like a testimonial. So that was quite attractive to me to give that a go and actually be personally endorsed, I suppose, by the talk show. 5AA is the only one in town. We gave it a go. That was 2016.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
Here's an absolutely affordable way from Mannix to keep your family cool in summer and warm in winter. For a limited time only, get 60 months interest-free on a Fujitsu ducted system. You heard right. No deposit, no interest for 60 months with Fujitsu Cool Finance. Conditions apply. There's no reason to wait. Have Mannix design and install a Fujitsu ducted system now and keep cool this summer. For a free quote, call 1300 Mannix or go online anytime.
And issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
Through until 9 o'clock this morning and for tomorrow as well. Looking forward to it. It's 7:07 here on 5AA Breakfast. A big hour coming up. And we've got the Shadow Minister for Infrastructure and Transport who's going to come on very shortly and not happy about the state of the Southeastern Freeway. So we'll talk about that in a moment. We're also going to talk extended shopping hours this hour too, Jade. Plenty of sport about the place, a big golf tournament happening at North Adelaide tomorrow, and some local politics with Matt Abraham. So it's all happening in the next hour or so.
And we put a call out because we want to see your lawns. We've been talking about how to look after your lawns and get a good-looking deck ahead of Christmas. Lockie from Kapunda sent one in, so has David. We've got some really very good-looking lawns. Some nice before and after shots. I do love a good before and after shot. So send them all in because we are going to be putting them up on our social media sites, and they're crowning the king and queen of the lawns.
Looking forward to doing that.
Yes, and we've been talking about what we used to get up as kids. How do we used to play? In the streets, we've got one here. Hi guys, Honda 50cc mini bike and kids go-kart, no engine plus rope, drifting around our local Malvern roundabout in the 70s. Can you imagine doing that in Malvern now? No. Absolutely not. You'd get in big strife.
Now, Jade, one of the other things too we are talking about is extended shopping hours.
Absolutely. It kicks off today.
It kicks off today. Andrew White, the Executive Manager of Rundle Mall, joins us on the show now. Andrew, thanks so much for your time. Talk us through what kind of shopping hours can we expect to have leading up to Christmas?
Good morning and thanks for having me on. It's an absolutely massive 5 days until Christmas now, and the vibes in Rundle Mall and the atmosphere has just been fantastic. But if you're anything like me, you've probably left all your Christmas shopping to the last minute. So we've got you covered. We're the only major shopping precinct staying open till midnight tonight, Friday and Monday. So it's really going to be a big period, but we've got daily activations, entertainment, choirs, carolers, all sorts of things. So we're looking forward to this last final 5 days.
How much cash do you reckon will go through the tills today?
Yeah, we're expecting somewhere in the area of $35 million to be spent in the last 5 days and 900,000 people to be coming through the mall. So, wow. It's no surprise. We've got, 700 retail stores. We've got all this, entertainment, food, and daily activation. So, people absolutely love it. So I think they're going to be coming in droves.
That's crazy. It kind of defies that whole argument of the cost of living, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah, it does. We haven't really seen it slow down. In fact, in this last financial year, we had about 54 million people coming through the mall, and it's the largest mall in the country and the busiest as well. So people just keep coming out. But I think it's, like I said, just such a great atmosphere that people just want to get out and spend a whole day there. So, we haven't seen it slow down, and it won't in this last little push before Christmas.
That's great news. Is the spending still been strong too? I mean, people are going, that's one thing, but are they still spending money while they're there, Andrew?
Yeah, absolutely. We just got off the back of Black Friday, which was, huge, and, we're still waiting on some of those numbers to come through, but, all our retailers said it was one of the best they've ever had. So we're really excited for this next little period here, but, we just keep going from strength to strength. So as I said, I think it's going to be a really big final few days, but, midnight tonight, people love that midnight trading, and they get around it and support it with their feet.
Hey, can I say congratulations, because there is actual Christmas decorations in Rundle Mall, the one of the very few places in our state that you've actually gone to a bit of effort.
Yeah, I mean, people expect that of us. I mean, when you're thinking about what's your Christmas experience, people associate the mall and Christmas. So, we pull out all the stops, and we've got our massive Santa course where you can go across the mall and the rest of the city and find the 10 giant Santas around the city. But it's also all the choirs, the carolers, got swinging bells for the kids to play on. So it's all this sort of stuff going on, and we really take it serious, and we think that South Australians deserve the best Christmas experience possible. So yeah, we love it, and it keeps getting better and better year after year.
And you spoke about the Black Friday sales, which were enormously popular. A lot of foot traffic there. What about the Boxing Day sales? They're often a really good time to try and get a bargain. When do the shopping hours begin for Boxing Day?
So yeah, we're once the Christmas is all said and done, then it gets into that post-Christmas sales, and everyone knows about the annual tradition in Rundle Mall of Boxing Day sales, and so that kicks off at 9 a.m. Sharp on Boxing Day, and we'll have lineups, we'll have all sorts of things going on that day. But yeah, it is a great opportunity. Just if you're like me, you need to refresh your wardrobe. You need to get something clean and ready for the next year. So it is that great opportunity when there's a bunch of sales up to 50% off in a lot of cases. So yeah, people get around that as well. And like Black Friday, Boxing Day seems to keep getting bigger and bigger year after year, and it becomes just basically a week of sales in the mall. It's crazy.
Hey Andrew, there's been a few incidences in the Rundle Mall of late. I just wanted to ask you, with shops being open until midnight, what will security look like?
Yeah, so Rundle Mall is an absolute safe and fun place to be, and naturally when we've got these major events and festivals and these sorts of things, there's a lot more people coming through, but we get so much support from SAPOL. And they've been absolutely great, but we also put on extra security for those busy periods. So, we're well and truly covered. But, Rundle Mall is absolutely a safe and fun place to be.
Brilliant. Cannot wait. I have not done any shopping at all, so this is very good for me. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you.
So shopping hours at Rundle Mall until midnight tonight, Friday the 20th, and through till Tuesday the 24th of December. And kicking off today in the mall, you've got free kids Christmas crafts around Gula Place, the Australian Girls Choir performances, Kyton's Bakery Christmas pop-up, and Naughty or Nice spinning wheel from 3 o'clock just near Woolies there. So there's stacks of things, and a lot of the arcades are offering free gift wrapping as well, heaps of sales.
I don't think you'd be alone in terms of leaving it late. A lot of people, tend to do their shopping in the final few days, but it is starting to get a bit tight, Jade. There's less than a week now.
I tried to buy Ben's gift yesterday, and I don't know why. I don't wear a watch. I don't really know what date it is. I kind of just fly by the seat of my pants in life in general. Mm-hmm. And I tried to get his gift delivered, and they basically laughed at me on the phone. And I thought, no, it's available down at Noarlunga. You can drive down to Noarlunga to pick it up. Look, brilliant, just round the corner. No worries. Take the kids for a day trip.
Bit of a trek. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Do some sightseeing along the way. Let's have a chat to Ben Hood. I mentioned a few minutes ago that he and the opposition are unhappy with the state of the Southeastern Freeway. Ben, thanks so much for your time this morning.
G'day, Tom, and g'day, Jade, and g'day to all your listeners.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We want to talk specifically about the Southeastern Freeway. You believe that over the last 2 years we've had serious concerns of safety and you want to see a review.
Well, Jade, that's right. 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago to the day, the government had released their Southeastern Freeway Heavy Vehicle Safety Review, and there were 16 shortlisted proposals that were put forward in that review. Now, the Minister had said that those are things that they want to action, and one of those, which was the Crossroads stop bar, actually moving that stop bar back, because I'm hearing from a lot of people who use that freeway, and I use it a hell of a lot too when I'm driving up from Mount Gambier. That's something that they really wanted to see a solution to. But after 2 years, there hasn't been a hell of a lot that's been going on. I know that the Minister 6 months ago announced a bit of money that he'd got federally to be able to do that work, and said that we'd be seeing design solutions for that Crossroads safety bar being moved back by December. Well, we're certainly running out of road, pardon the pun, but we're on the 19th of December now, 2 years since this safety review was released. We haven't seen any designs, and people who are using this freeway are contacting my office and wondering what is going on. We don't want to see another truck accident down on that toll gate and that crossroad intersection there. It's not a matter of if but when, and 2 years is too long. Announcing that funding federally after a year and a half from these reviews, I believe, is too long as well. And now we're at the end of the year. We haven't seen any designs, and people are wondering where the government is at in terms of the Southeastern Freeway and the safety of the road users.
Do you want to see their plans would come into place, or have you got your own ideas of what you'd like to see happen?
Look, I think that the Crossroads stop bar, moving that back, I think that's a pretty good idea. There was also stuff being floated around about a third arrestor bed, which the Minister did put a line through 6 months ago, and I'll note that the South Australian Road Transport Association did want to see some real reasoning as to why that was being crossed out. I don't think the Minister gave any real reasons as to why they were crossing that out. I think that would be another good solution. But that Crossroads stop bar, now if we think about when you're heading down the Southeastern Freeway, you're coming to Crossroad and Port Rush Road, moving that Crossroads stop bar back means that trucks, if they need to and if their brakes fail, they would be able to go through there without taking anybody out. Now, of course, there's a bit of work that needs to be done there in terms of moving lights back and then thinking about the signal changes. But we had some money announced 6 months ago. We were going to get designs in December. We're now at the 19th of December, 2 years since this safety review was released. We haven't heard anything. And I think that the people who use this freeway every day really want some answers from the government and wondering when they are going to be seeing these solutions being actioned, because the Minister said, even in his own media release, that these were short-term proposals, short-term, which could be delivered in a matter of months. Now, that's his words, not mine. We're now at 2 years, 6 months since some funding got put up. We haven't really seen anything yet. And I think it's really vitally important that our road users do feel safe when they're using the freeway, most especially as we go into Christmas and we have a lot of people travelling to Adelaide and travelling out of Adelaide as well. And I think it's really important. I'd just love to hear what the government have got to say about it and where is those designs for that Crossroads stop bar.
Okay, thanks so much for your call this morning. Thanks a lot, Ben Hood, Shadow Transport Minister there, joining us on the line on 5AA Breakfast. It is 19 minutes past 7 o'clock. Speaking of the traffic, we're going to check out what is happening on the roads right now.
Morning, yeah, traffic is really light this morning, so no great hassles getting to work or accident breakdown free. They are fixing up a burst water out at Brighton this morning. Brighton Road to Sturt Road, got a lane out of action each way, so that'll get pretty slow this morning. Works a mile in to look out for, James Holder Drive near Hugh Street, and a bit of activity at West Beach, which is slow as well, Beveridge Road near Gibson Street. Getting busy South Road, Karata Park with the camera, Hawker Street at Brompton this morning. Coles is making Christmas easier. Order online or on the app and get free standard click and collect every day, or $2 midweek delivery from Tuesday till Thursday. Minimum spend $50. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
There's hot chili cashews, smoked almonds and delicious spicy peanuts. Merry Christmas, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth, and they're just 3 of the tantalising products we cook hot and fresh for you in every one of our Charlesworth Nuts stores. There's salted and unsalted nuts, there's spicy, hot chili and smokehouse flavoured, plus our range of designer mixes exclusive to Charlesworth's. Just follow the seductive aroma of freshly cooked nuts to one of our 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're on the hunt for the best student devices, look no further than Harvey Norman. They've got everything from Windows and Chromebooks to Apple computers, all in stock and ready to go. You'll find the biggest range of Windows brands like HP, Acer, Asus and Lenovo. Plus, they've got the latest next-gen AI computers with over 20 hours of battery life. Perfect for school. If you're on a budget, check out their affordable Chromebooks with options under $500. And don't forget about their huge range of accessories and software for both work and education. Need help? Their expert salespeople understand exactly what you need for school computers.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
Next time you pour Fluorio milk into your coffee or tea, over your cereal or in your smoothie, you're closer to being an SA dairy farmer than you think. 100% of Fluorio Co milk comes from our state's best dairy farmers and their families. So when you buy any Fluorio milk product, you become part of that big family too, doing your bit to support our farming families. Look for the local in your supermarket. Fluorio Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
BJ Energy don't just install solar and battery systems. They optimise everything to do with solar, squeezing every bit of energy out of the sun to help take control over your energy bills. And because BJ Energy are fully qualified electricians, they can help you in all things home energy, solar repairs and maintenance, EV chargers, lighting, switchboard upgrades, heat pump systems and more. Contact BJ Energy for a free consultation. Package deals and payment plans available. bjenergy.com.au.
On the first day of Christmas, Wayville Hyundai gave to me 3 years of free servicing. Every in-stock vehicle sold this December comes with 3 years of free servicing, plus a surprise from under our Christmas tree. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai.
Know the news with Adelaide's 7 News. Don't miss Adelaide's leading news hour tonight at 6 o'clock.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
23 minutes past 7 o'clock here on 5AA Breakfast. It is Thursday, December the 19th. Now, Jade, I think you and I and the entire sporting world here in South Australia has been blown away by the popularity and the explosion of Live Golf and what it's done to this state and how people have embraced it and really enjoyed the different sort of format as to what we're used to in previous years of traditional golf. And to that end, we've got another exciting edition which is happening in Adelaide tomorrow at the North Adelaide Golf Course. It's called Blitz Golf. It's a 3 or a 4 hour package and it's 24 players involved, a knockout format. It's a party type atmosphere. It's going to be absolutely sensational. And the CEO and founder of Blitz Golf, Simon Zybeck, joins us on the line now to talk a bit about it. Simon, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Simon, talk us through what is tomorrow's event all about. It's at North Adelaide. It kicks off at, I think, 4 o'clock. Talk us through what it's all going to be about tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's pretty much built around the 2020 version of golf. It's a fast, fun format. It's run and done in 3 hours. So, gates open from 3:30, but the action kicks off at 4:30. So nice twilight time slot and runs through till 7:30, but it's wrapping around the music, the golf, and a really fun, fast format with pros v celebrities. So it's a great format.
Well, you do have some famous faces. Who's going to be down there?
Yeah, so we've got some great celebs from the Crows and Port. So Jordan Dawson's down there, Lockie Murphy's down there. We've got Jordan Sweet, Jason from Francis and Hamish Harlett from Port. Greg Blewett's down there. And then we've got pretty much all the best South Australian pros available. So it's just going to be an amazing atmosphere and cool to see how some of those celebs go up against the pros.
Simon, how have you seen golf? I was down at Drummond Golf the other day and we were just talking about the popularity of it. And I think we were talking 2 years ago, golf was ranked about the 8th most popular sport in Australia. It's jumped up to number 2. How have you seen it change in the demand?
Yeah, absolutely. Like when we first started Blitz Golf, you could see the trend was slightly shifting, and obviously things that have happened with Live Golf and the like have certainly helped accelerate some of that growth. I think through COVID as well, clearly a lot of people got involved in the game and memberships skyrocketed. But, for me, it's been awesome to see that growth, and I feel like there's just so much room in the world of golf for multiple products to succeed. There's no need for products to have infighting, and there's just it's such a worldwide audience, such a big audience, that I think so many products can thrive and so many formats can succeed.
And the beauty of it is you can play at any age, and I think during COVID so many people needed an outlet, and I know for me golf was almost cathartic. It was such a good thing. We were so lucky in South Australia. But tomorrow I think it's 24 players in total, pros and celebrities, Simon, and it's a knockout format and it's not handicapped, so it's 6 holes, I think, and then you whittle the field down to 12 and then down to 4 and then you get an eventual winner. It all happens really fast, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So let's start 24 players in round 1. We cut the field in half. We cut the holes in half. So after the 6 holes, it goes to 3, and then to those 12 players will play the 3 holes, and then we cut the field in third and the holes in third, and we get a 1-hole sudden death final. It's really, really exciting format to get around, and really looking forward to what's going to be a really strong turnout tomorrow. I think the twilight time slot really suits a lot of people too. They can sort of come in after work and be a part of it.
Is it family fun as well?
Absolutely, yeah. We always built that around it as well. So lots of sort of kids' activities, and the fan activation is the other part for me, that we try to do golf quite differently with bringing that sort of basketball to the golf course sort of mantra, where you've got the halftime shootout in basketball. We have fans being pulled out of the crowd to putt for cash. At the end of round 1, end of round 2, we have some competitions, and it's some cool things that are happening during the events. If a pro hits their tee shot within 6 feet of the stadium hole pin, then someone gets pulled from the crowd to win some prizes too. So it's trying to bring a lot of the fan activations into the event as well. So it's pretty cool.
Those activations are amazing. And if people want to get tickets, can they still do so, Simon?
Yeah, definitely. So it's just blitzgolf.net/Adelaide or /tickets, one or the other. Tickets $10 for GA. Kids under 15 are free, and there's multiple packages available if people want to enjoy it from a different level.
Well, it is sensational weather tomorrow. So, Simon, I think you've timed it absolutely beautifully. Good luck tomorrow. I know you've done a power of work setting it all up. I think it'll go off, and people will love seeing how Darcy Fogarty hits them. Jason Horne-Francis, for example, I know Fogarty hits bombs, but whether or not he can keep them straight, we'll see tomorrow. But thanks so much, and good luck. I'm sure it'll go really well.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Simon. Merry Christmas. I was speaking to Jason Horne-Francis the other day, and he's quite handy at golf, as most of the footballers are. They play a lot in their spare time.
Yep.
He won a turkey.
Playing golf.
He won a competition last week and won a turkey.
Well, that's not bad.
That is a random prize.
He's fast becoming one of my favourite players, Jason Horne-Francis. I love it. I'm very interested to see. I'll be there tomorrow. Very interested to see how he hits. I'll report back to you and let you know.
Ask him what he's doing with his turkey.
Yeah, I'll see if he maybe give me a slice of it. Anyway, we're going to head across to the newsroom. Plenty more coming up after 7:30. We'll be talking all things politics with Matt Abraham.
With Christmas just around the corner, the gift-giving season is in full swing. And there's one person who deserves a gift more than anyone else. You. What better way to treat yourself than with some stylish new Smeg appliances from Adelaide Appliance Gallery. With up to 20% off selected Smeg appliances, you'll be able to treat yourself to the iconic Italian brand that prioritises colour, design and technology. Drop by and pick up some Smeg at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, 155 Paynham Road, St Peters.
If your business needs finance fast, speak to Universal Finance right now. Universal Finance make business loans easy. Unsecured business loans and business overdrafts. Universal Finance can help your business now with same-day settlements in most cases. See Universal Finance in Kent Town or search Universal Finance. This is general advice only, and you should consider the terms and conditions before determining whether this advice is suitable for your situation.
Tommy, when it comes to all things Christmas, there's only one place you can get absolutely everything you need for a magnificent Christmas feast and the entire festive season, and that is, of course, the Adelaide Central Market.
Yeah, you are absolutely spot on, Jade. The Adelaide Central Market is open every day in the lead up to Christmas, and that's including this Sunday and Monday from 7 a.m. with fresh everything From local cherries, stone fruit and handmade fruit mince tarts, puddings to local seafood and house-smoked hams, plus all the ingredients you need to create your Christmas feasts and festive treats.
And of course, when you shop at the Adelaide Central Markets, you're supporting over 70 stalls under the one roof.
Yeah, that's what I love. It's South Australian. It's amazing. It's so good. There'll be free activities for the kids too, roving elves and live music for festive trading hours. Visit AdelaideCentralMarket.com.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 34 today with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Merry Christmas from the team at Physio Extra's 6 locations, open across the festive season. PhysioExtra.com.
A house at Valley View has gone up in flames overnight. Senior Constable Dave Backus says the blaze broke out in Wright Road around 2:45 this morning.
Fire crews found the house fully engulfed, but they were able to stop the fire spreading to neighbouring homes, fortunately. So there was nobody home at the time, which is great, and the investigation is that possible cause is continuing, and crime scene investigators will attend the scene later this morning.
Perfection Fresh wants to be compensated for its recent shutdown due to a tomato virus found in SA. The tomato grower at Two Wells is seeking more than $20 million after the government instructed the business to quarantine 3 months ago. The claim covers a number of issues, including loss of revenue and destroyed crops. The state government standing by its decision. A jewellery shop at Walkerville was broken into early this morning. The front door on the Northeast Road premises smashed, but the would-be thieves couldn't get in and left empty-handed. Police dog Rusty was called in and found an empty backpack in a garden. The 3 masked men couldn't be found. Extended shopping hours begin today for Christmas. Arundel Mall, Marion and Tea Tree Plaza will stay open until midnight. The mall's executive manager Andrew White telling Jade and Tom there's a lot on offer.
If you're anything like me, you've probably left all your Christmas shopping to the last minute, so we've got you covered. We're the only major shopping precinct staying open till midnight tonight, Friday and Monday.
Beloved Australian author John Marsden has died at the age of 74. Nine's Dusty Fitzpatrick with more.
He was best known for his Tomorrow series, which sold millions of copies and was adapted to film and TV. But John was also an educational pioneer, founding both the Candlebark and Alice Miller schools in Victoria. He stepped down as principal earlier this year but continued teaching Year 7 English. In a statement, the school says his contribution to young adult literature was revolutionary. He was 74.
Fire authorities have issued a festive reminder for South Australians to check the barbecue less than a week out from Christmas following a spike in related fires over the last financial year. MFS and CFS fire crews responded to 69 barbecue fires across the state in 2023-24. That's up 28% on the previous 12 months. Emergency Services Minister Dan Cregan says people need to inspect their barbies ahead of using them.
Barbecue stored outside during the cooler months and exposed to the elements can deteriorate, increasing the risk of a fire hazard. Crews attend dozens of fires caused by poorly maintained barbecues and gas cylinders.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Jace Kemp.
Thank you, Matthew. Aussie Test captain Pat Cummins isn't concerned by the batting order's poor performance in the drawn test at the Gabba. Travis Head was the only specialist batsman to reach double figures as they pushed for quick runs before a declaration. Former cricketer Tom Moody says he was confused by the tactics late in the game and believes the draw will give India a boost.
I was a little bit surprised that we sort of in the back half of that game sort of handed them a little bit of momentum going into the Boxing Day Test match. Their bowlers will be thrilled to see the fact that, you know, they've knocked over Australia's top order again.
In the Big Bash, the Brisbane Heat defeated the Melbourne Stars by 8 wickets with 11 balls to spare. To racing, and Sergio Perez has officially been axed by Red Bull after 4 seasons with the team. Principal Christian Horner revealing Red Bull is now tossing up between 2 drivers to take his place on the grid.
We have all of the information that we need. Essentially, it'll be a choice between Yuki and Liam. Both have got strong credentials.
And in the EPL Cup quarterfinals this morning, Arsenal has equalised with Crystal Palace late in the second half, while Liverpool is 2-0 up against Southampton. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now let's have a look at the roads around Adelaide.
Morning there, traffic pretty light this morning, which is good. We're accident breakdown free. Getting busy in the usual spots, however. South Road to Karata Park. A little bit busy too, Marion Road at the Anzac Highway intersection. Works at Brighton, Burst Watermain getting fixed there. Brighton Road near Sturt Road, that'll get slow throughout the morning. And look out for a camera road today, Port Road to Queenstown. Give a gift that could start something big this Christmas at Officeworks. Shop online and get free 2-hour delivery until December 24 at Officeworks. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA's forecast.
Start with your tiles first at Lifestyles. Open through Christmas and New Year. Lifestyles Lonsdale.
Sunny days ahead, 34 today, 31 tomorrow, partly cloudy Saturday, 29, cooler for Sunday, and 25. Right now, 22. More news as it happens on 5AA.
I'll grab a few people I know. We'll mark out some places to go. There's no invitation, just a destination, and that's the best freedom I know. Jump in the Jade, jump in the Jade. Yeah, that's the best freedom I know.
Summer's here. Time to get your new Woolco pool blanket. Made from quality materials, a Woolco pool blanket will keep your pool clean, warm and reduce evaporation. Uncover the savings now. Visit woolco.com.au.
I'm high!
The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home. And for seniors, it's always been great value with 20% discount on selected bistro meals. Yep, 20% off. Feeding the whole family? Bring them all Saturday or Sunday for live acoustic music from 5 p.m. And kids eat free. Some conditions apply. The Excelsior Hotel feels like home, but better. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
Now we're having a ball. It's 23 minutes to 8 o'clock. It's Thursday, December the 19th, and it's that special time of week.
9 out of 10 every time.
Matthew Abraham on 5AA Breakfast.
He joins us in the studio each and every week, and he's here again this morning. Matthew, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Jade.
Nice to have you in here.
I'm exhausted.
We have got something in common at the moment. We're both renovating, which is a bit of fun, said no one ever.
Exactly.
Your tradies, though, they've got a bit of a buzz. They want to talk about something.
Yes. Well, we're doing the ensuite.
Nice.
I'm sort of wishing we'd gone for one of those epoxy, just sort of spray, like Mr. Bean when he painted the room and sort of wrapped everything in newspaper and then exploded a bomb. But anyway, so I'd like to say good morning to Paul the tiler, Nicholas the painter, and Pete, his dad. Let's see, Gary the brickie. A little bit later, it'll be Michael the renderer.
Nice. Chippy?
Yes. And Adam and Luke, the window guy. And the chippy did a great job on the frame. And the guy who put the insulation in without a mask or a proper suit, that was me.
Yeah.
So I'm still itching. But anyway, what do they talk about? And when they find out you're on radio, you know what you ought to talk about? I'm telling you what you ought to talk about when you're on 5AA, because they're all walking around with their phones going on 5AA.
Yeah.
Must have good data plans. Stamp duty. They say it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
My son's just bought a house, $68,000 stamp duty, $50,000 stamp duty. What do we get for that? We just hand it over.
I know.
It's dead money.
You get slugged on the way in, slugged on the way out.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And we are the most expensive in the country.
Yep.
In this space.
And I think I'm correct on this. We're the only state where first home buyers do not get stamp duty relief on an existing home. So, they'll give you stamp duty relief if you're buying a new home, and if you're a downsizer, apparently going to an apartment, you get stamp duty relief, but not if you're buying an existing home, even if it's like a little a duplex or whatever it is, semi-detached, doesn't matter. You will not get a cent of stamp duty relief from the state government here, even though they say we're helping people get into homes. And what it does, I think, is gridlocks the market, because these terrible people, baby boomers, that's me, a lot of them stay put because they think, I'm going to burn, your house, you might have got it quite cheap, you might have bought it 20, 30 years ago, it's now worth a mozza, and suddenly you're facing, if we buy another house, even if it's a downsizer, we're going to be looking at 60, 70, 80 grand. That's just going to be blown. Oh, we could have a holiday overseas for that.
That's right.
Let that be our kids' problem or whatever. So it's a big issue. And we know the government loves it. The government loves it.
Is it just too much money? Too much money for them to not have it?
No, they're rolling in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've got the mid-year budget review came out during the week, and the government's posted another surplus. They've got something like about 160, 165 million bucks extra coming in on top of the big flow of stamp duty in the last budget. In other words, we're only 6 months since the last budget, and already we're tracking to well over 150 million bucks in this hot property market in South Australia.
Well,
all of that is stamp duty and the so-called transfer fee, which is about 20 grand to transfer a house. Let's say the house is about 1.3 million or whatever. It costs you a lot of money.
But then don't forget, when you're getting a loan, if you haven't saved 10, 20% or whatever the percentage is, then you've got to fork out extra thousands of dollars to pay the insurance on the loan.
Yeah.
So here you are thinking, I've saved a fair deposit, and then you go in, you buy your house, and you think, oh, hang on a minute, what's this stamp duty? What's this insurance? What's all of this extra stuff that you got to pay? So
that is one of the big rorts, by the way, I think,
massive.
for particularly young people trying to get into a house. I don't expect anyone to feel sorry for a superannuated former radio jock like myself, but for young people trying to get in the market, you're quite right. They have to factor in stamp duty, but also this mortgage insurance, which doesn't insure them.
No, the bank.
It insures the bank. So you're paying, you just never think about this, you are paying the bank to insure themselves.
They're double dipping.
I know. It's actually incredible when you think about it.
And our market
they should
at the
wipe
moment,
that out. They don't need that. Banks have got, if you go bust,
look at their profits.
they'll sell your property.
Yep.
They can sell your property and get their money back.
And the market at the moment, I think we're hotter than Melbourne, aren't we? Like, we're more
yeah.
expensive than Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been harder to buy a house if you live in South Australia.
Yeah.
I need to ask you a question. Did John Gardner, did he resign on Friday? Did he wait until you'd wrapped up this segment on Thursday for him to pull the pin on Friday?
Yeah. I understand.
You've got that much power.
Yeah. Well, I think he was scared. He was trembling in his boots about Pembo, and particularly Will, who, as you know, came in at 100 on the Tiser's top 100 most influential.
We spoke about that.
He can make stuff happen.
He can make it happen. So John Gardner just waited for things to calm down. No, he didn't. John Gardner, it will be a loss to the Liberal Party, and his seat may be a loss to the Liberal Party because I think he's a fairly assiduous local member. His seat at Morialta is tenuous, like most seats are now for the Liberal Party, and they'll be blooding someone new at a state election. It won't be the same as a by-election. He's not leaving and creating a by-election, as we saw with Stephen Marshall and David Spears. And there won't be anyone endorsing him from the Christie's Beach Magistrate Court because he had a very clean sheet. As, by the way, is David Spears, in matters before the court.
Very clean.
No problem there.
Squeaky clean. Nothing to see here.
Anyway, so, yeah, I think he's a loss. He was he would have been a good leader, I think, for the party. He's obviously looked at the state of the party. He's also looked at his personal health. He had a very nasty skin cancer scare. And got a young family. He's decided, nah, I don't think so. I'll pursue fresh pastures. And, yeah, I think that is a factor in... I think that he'll be missed inside the Liberal Party.
It seems like they've taken hit after hit this year, doesn't it? The last 6 months in particular, Matt. How do you forecast the year ahead? We're 15, 16 months out from the state election. Are there going to be any chance the Liberal Party of getting any traction in the lead up to the election?
Well, they're going to have to hope so, I think. I mean, hopefully for them, I think hopefully they'll be thinking, well, let's start, the new year. It's been a terrible year
2024.
For them. Lost 2 seats. They're a long way back now.
Do they bring out the big guns and make some big promises, or do they just challenge the opposition? How do they win it? Like, how do they even have a
fighting chance?
Well, I do think they need to have some brave policies. They're not going to win the next election by being small targets.
No.
I mean, because they're small enough targets as it is and it's not working. And they're not going to win the next election by sort of trying to be more popular than Peter Malinauskas. Vincent Tarzio knows that. He's not going to win that one. So they have to do something. They have to come up with some big policy moves, even if they're controversial. And I don't mean, they've already ruled out social policy. I'm talking about economic policy.
Yeah.
Ian Evans, when he was opposition leader, proposed a desalination plant. A lot smaller, about a quarter the size of the one that Mike Rand ended up building, that sits there not being used at all. But it was an interesting, it was a policy, and it was different, and it put a bit of heat on the government because we were heading into, in the middle of of a pretty bad drought then. And here was somebody saying, well, I'm proposing that we have a permanent sort of safety valve for South Australia in terms of water. And that sort of policy debate focused, here's an opposition's got a few ideas, what's the government doing? We don't see a lot of that from Vincent Tarzio. Tends to criticise the government over spending, over the Women's and Children's Hospital, delays on South Road, ramping and so on.
We had today criticism of the freeway and the fact that Labor hasn't released their plans yet. So Liberals are saying, well, when are we going to see them? Well, I'd like to see some new ideas from them, to be honest, rather than the criticism.
And, we had Martin Hamilton-Smith, when he was opposition leader, proposing a stadium for Adelaide.
Yes,
the Adelaide
that's right.
Oval. And again, that was opposed by Mike Rand at the time, but he eventually reluctantly came round to that because that was, again, getting traction for the opposition. Here's an opposition with some ideas. I don't think we're seeing that from the Liberal Party. And I think in the run-up to the election, they're going to need to try and at least say, well, we stand for something different, as we've seen with Peter Dutton. I mean, Peter Dutton's taking a lot of heat over his nuclear plan, a plan for nuclear power in Australia, but at least it's something that focuses the debate. It draws clear lines of difference between the opposition and the government, so there's no sort of, Tweedledum and Tweedledee effect. You know exactly that these are two different people, Dutton and Albanese. And it's also thrown the focus on energy and the cost of energy, which is a weak point for the federal government. So those sort of things, I think those sort of things work for oppositions. They're risky, but they work. They can work for you.
Jordan Gardner obviously steps down. Josh Teague comes in, the replacement. What do you think?
Well, it was unopposed. He was unopposed, which is apparently a sign of Liberal Party unity, but I think it was a sign that no one else wanted a job.
Would you?
I mean, I think Ashton Hearn's back on deck. I think it would have been great, I think, for the Liberal Party if they had a man and a woman in whatever role, either as leader or deputy leader. She's obviously either not interested at this stage or, will maybe wait until after the next election. So Josh Teague, who ran unsuccessfully for leader the last time a ballot was held, and I think Mike Smithson describes him as somebody who always looks like a batsman in the nervous 90s. He's got that slightly jumpy sort of look about him, the old Josh. So anyway, he's, that's not going to be earth-shattering.
No, I know, but it's funny, isn't it? Because, you can be the smartest person in the room, but if you're not coming across as being confident and calm, people judge you.
They do. He's no dummy.
No, I know.
I don't think he is, but anyway, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that.
Hey, we've been chatting about what you used to get up to as a young kid. How did you used to play? I reckon you'd be a bit of a scallywag as a kid, were you?
No, I was a good kid.
Were you?
Yeah.
You never got in trouble?
Does people still play All Over Red Rover?
Oh, yes. My kids play that at school the other day, and a bloody kid broke his arm. Another kid got sent home with concussion. They love it.
Yeah, the chasey, all those kinds of games. They're still around.
Well, it's chasey, but it's Red Rover. Like, you then tackle them to the ground. And, God, I'm not painting my children in a very nice light today, am I?
It is 11 minutes to 8 o'clock. Matt, it is that time.
10 out of 10 every time.
Yes, now... I was trying to find a Christmas thing for you, but Donald Trump's gone very quiet. There was no quirky stuff. But I was watching this lovely set piece on the ABC when they got a new boss.
Yes.
And he's from Channel 9, Hugh Marks.
Hugh Marks.
And he leaves Channel 9 at a time when Channel 9's had a lot of unrest about the corporate culture,
Very
unsatisfactory
much so.
corporate culture there. And it's surprised, I think it's quite a surprise for people that the ABC has chosen him. And Kim Williams, who's the chair and wants the ABC to focus on things like ballet, I think, and sort of underwater basket weaving or whatever, or finger painting or something like that, announced it. And both of them were asked about the corporate culture at 9 and whether, he was an appropriate hire. And this is, first of all, Hugh Marks, who says the problems were never raised with him, and then Kim Williams sort of explaining how seriously he takes it.
I can only explain that by the fact that people felt, they didn't want to raise the issues for whatever reason that might be.
There's a lot of fairly loose, anecdotal and rather feverish talk, which is not in any way to diminish the importance of having the right cultural settings in any working environment.
Wow.
What's he saying there, Kim Williams? There's a fairly stupid talk around. But that's not to diminish it. That's not to say it's not happening. It's just fairly loose and,
Yeah, we're hoping it goes away.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll be all good. It's okay. Let's concentrate on the ballet. Now, I'm giving him, I know they don't get 8 cents a day anymore, but a big 8 out of 10 to finish the year for Kim Williams.
10 out of 10 every time.
So a good bit of spin there to finish the year?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a big year.
What are you going to be up to over the Christmas break, festive season? Bit of boating?
I think I'm going into the insulation business, I think.
Very good.
Renovating. Do you know this is real? My boat, because of, Jade, you'll know this, you're doing renos and all that sort of stuff. It actually had cobwebs on the anchor. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you got to get out there.
I've got to get that boat wet.
Yeah.
You
Get
do.
it out there.
They say the best day is when you buy it, and the second best is when you sell it again.
You've been talking to my wife.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah, have a
thank you
fabulous
for a
Christmas.
great year. We love having you around, and me listening to you.
Lovely talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Thanks to both of you.
Fantastic 2024 from you. 7:52. Time to check out the traffic here on 5AA.
Traffic nice and light this morning. Rates and breakdown free. Getting busy in the usual spots. The freeway outbound just around the tunnels. South Road at Karata Park near the underpass is also pretty busy. And the fixing up of Burst Water made it bright at the moment, so that'll get a bit slow throughout the morning. Brighton Road at Sturt Road. Busy right now. Main North Road at Enfield with a camera. Heathslip Road at Angle Vale. The time is now at Mercedes-Benz. Enjoy savings across the range, including Mercedes AMG and all electric models. Visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Adelaide today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
With Christmas just around the corner, the gift-giving season is in full swing. And there's one person who deserves a gift more than anyone else. You. What better way to treat yourself than with some stylish new Smeg appliances from Adelaide Appliance Gallery? With up to 20% off selected Smeg appliances, you'll be able to treat yourself to the iconic Italian brand that prioritises colour, design and technology. Drop by and pick up some Smeg at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, 155 Paynham Road, St Peters.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Local and experienced trade specialists.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
FIVEAA Milk Company will always put SA first, and you can too. When you reach for milk, reach for FIVEAA Milk Company products and support our dairy farmers and their families. We guarantee that all our milk is 100% South Australian, and it's always fresh. We have over 24 refrigerated trucks shipping FIVEAA milk to cafes, restaurants and supermarkets all over SA. Look for the local in your supermarket. FIVEAA Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
The Steinborner Group has done it again. The Jack T9 Ute has landed at Jack Motors in Gawler. Enjoy a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, a 7-year warranty, 7-year roadside assist and 7-year capped price servicing. The Jack T9 features a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine. This 4x4 dual-range Ute boasts an impressive 3-tonne towing capacity, a 1,045-kilogram payload and a tray that fits a standard pallet. Starting from just $45,980 drive away, Jack Motors is well worth a trip. Visit jackmotors.com.au.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early. Or late. Either way, the Olympic Industries sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
And it is 23 degrees outside at the moment. It is 5 minutes to 8 o'clock. The reason I'm talking about the weather is because, Jade, this was very popular yesterday.
It was indeed.
Give us a call, 8223 0000. We want the Christmas Day forecast. The closest pick, or if someone gets it exactly right, you're going to win a Smeg kettle to within 0.1 of a degree. What is the top temperature going to be on Christmas Day? We want your calls now, 8223 0000. First 5 callers will go through. We had 5 yesterday. We're going to do 5 every day on every working day up until Christmas, and then Casey and Lucy will announce the winner. I think that'll be on the 27th, the first day back after Christmas. So
we will give you a clue. You may have to reconsider sitting outside, maybe going inside.
yes.
That's all we'll say about the weather.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, a little bit of a cryptic clue there. That's nice. Good
Well,
one.
mate, it could be raining.
It could be. Exactly. Or it
Might
might
be
be
a hot one.
thunderstorms. Might be a hot one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you
okay.
play cricket backyard cricket on Christmas Day?
Yeah, the boys are right into their soccer at the moment. So more soccer and a game called Cub. Have you ever played that?
Never heard of it.
I'll have to teach you. Oh, it's amazing. It's a great game. You can play it sober or you can play it drinking as well. It's a lot of fun. It's
I'm
a bit
into
like bocce.
pickleball.
Oh, yeah, pickleball's good.
Pickleball's new, yeah.
That is new. Bocce's always good fun.
Yeah, don't mind bocce.
Cub's
Is
great,
bocce the same as platonk?
Platonk is... I'm thinking of Kaplunk, the game that I used to play. I'm not sure.
So you know how I said
played a bit of bocce.
I get a bit excited about Temu. So I jumped on Temu a couple of weeks ago to get some games ready for Christmas Day, and I got the 3-legged race going on, and then another one where you put the reindeer horns on, and then you got to throw discs. And then another one where it goes on and on. I've seriously got a problem, and I really need a detox Temu in the new year. But
we all have our vices.
They've served a purpose for Christmas games.
We all have our vices. I've got more than one. Don't worry, Jade. Let's go to Jane, who's out at Gawler. Hello, Jane.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. What are you thinking for Christmas Day?
35.6.
35.6.
Nice.
I think Jane got the clues.
Good luck.
Good on
Hello,
you, Jane.
Phil in Henley Beach. Good morning.
Morning, 36.2.
36.2. Oh, pretty close around the mark there. Let's go to Dave from Alberton, one of our regulars. Hello, Dave.
Morning. Hey, there's a high chance of ham and eggs early. It'll develop into prawns and beer in the afternoon, and then a pavlova will roll in late afternoon, and it'll be 35.1.
35.1. Dave, I'm coming to your place, I think. That all sounds delicious. Let's go to Timmy from somewhere out there.
Glenelg, beautiful part of the world.
Beautiful. Oh, that is a beautiful part of the world. Thanks, Timmy. What are you thinking for Christmas?
36.6.
Oh, it's a tight game today.
Isn't it?
Angela in Kensington Park. Good morning.
Good morning. I think it might be 36.2.
Did we just have that?
I'm not sure.
No,
maybe pick another one just in case. We'll go back,
Okay.
Angela.
36.5.
Okay,
Yeah, I reckon
excellent.
you're good.
You've got that one. You've locked that one in.
Thanks,
Good
Angela.
luck, Jane, Phil, Tim, Angela.
They don't miss much, our listeners, do they? They've seen the forecast ahead and they've gone with it. Plenty coming up after 8 o'clock, including a bizarre story, including a children's charity. We'll talk about that more after 8. You are listening to 5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Hi, Brett Ebert here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. It's flat out here. The 2024 plate clearance sale is belting along. Discover drive-away deals across the entire new car range. That's 12 months rego free, stamp duty free, plus various accessory packs worth $500. Yep, absolutely free. All exclusive to Mawson Lakes Mazda. No gimmicks, just great deals for a limited time. Hurry, the 2024 plate clearance won't last. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Christmas is a time to spoil the family with flavour, so stock up on Hoyt's herbs, spices and pickled vegetables. Turn the turkey into a succulent taste sensation with Hoyt's herbs and spices. Get that pork crackling perfect with Hoyt's rock salt and rosemary, olives and pickled vegetables for the salads. Refill your empty spice jars with Hoyt's value packs. You'll be happy with Hoyt's at Coles, Woolworths and all good independent supermarkets.
Fill those empties with Hoyt's spices, yeah!
For 40 years, Medicare has been the cornerstone of the Australian healthcare system. Now we're investing in Medicare's future to make it stronger, with more investment in bulk billing, enhanced support for mental health and more urgent care clinics. So whether you need a GP often or just now and then, Medicare's here to keep you and your family healthy, now and in the future. Learn more about Medicare benefits at medicare.gov.au/stronger. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
With Christmas just around the corner, the gift-giving season is in full swing. And there's one person who deserves a gift more than anyone else. You. What better way to treat yourself than with some stylish new Smeg appliances from Adelaide Appliance Gallery? With up to 20% off selected Smeg appliances, you'll be able to treat yourself to the iconic Italian brand that prioritises colour, design and technology. Drop by and pick up some Smeg at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, 155 Paynham Road, St Peters.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Sunny 34 today with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Holidaying down south? Physio Extra Victor Harbour is open across the break. Merry Christmas. PhysioExtra.com.
Police are hunting three masked men who tried to break into a jewellery store at Walkerville this morning. Senior Constable Dave Backus says an alarm was activated on North East Road at 2:30.
When patrols arrived, they've located a large amount of damage to the front door of the building where someone's attempted to force entry to the business, but the reinforced windows have thwarted their entry, and had they succeeded, they would have found the jewellery was all safely secured away anyway. So a lot of damage for no reason.
The incident captured on CCTV. Investigations are ongoing. Fire Corps investigators will attend the scene of a house fire at Valley View this morning. The home on Wright Road went up in flames at 2:45. Luckily, no one was home at the time. Retail giants want to introduce facial recognition technology to protect workers from violence. Assault involving weapons have jumped by a third in the last year. Staff are being punched or verbally abused. Kmart, Target and Bunnings are amongst the retailers pushing for greater CCTV surveillance in stores. In an Australian first trial, EV chargers will be installed on suburban power poles in Victoria, giving motorists better access to quick top-up charging. City Power, Power Corps and United Energy involved in installing the chargers, beginning in Melbourne, the Mornington Peninsula and Geelong. Head of Network Energy Services, Dan Bai, says the initial plan is for 100 chargers.
We'll be partnering with charge point operators who are specialists in managing the actual charge points. So we'll be partnering with those guys, and they've got apps and whatnot that you can actually locate these chargers. So we really want to make these very accessible to our customers.
A national scheme is being introduced aimed to drive up EV sales. Essential workers and low to middle income earners will be given government subsidised loans to buy an EV, even if it's second hand. The Clean Energy Finance Corporation is running the scheme alongside the Commonwealth Bank. Hundreds of Australians have been brought home from Vanuatu on board an RAAF flight. Nine's Katie Fuller with more.
The country is in recovery mode after a 7.3 magnitude earthquake struck near Port Vila, followed by a second less severe tremor. Dozens of personnel have been deployed to help with the response, including firefighters, paramedics, federal police and engineers. Rescue crews are helping find those trapped in collapsed buildings, and medical teams are treating the injured. 148 Australian citizens boarded an Air Force flight returning from the humanitarian mission overnight. Additional assistance is being provided wherever possible as the commercial airport remains closed.
Two astronauts stuck on the International Space Station for 7 months are having their stay extended. NASA says the pair will be waiting until at least March for a capsule to retrieve them. They've been there since June, initially for a one-week stay. Former astronaut Katie Coleman telling Today the pair are taking advantage of the longer stay.
When you're up there, every minute feels useful. Every step that you get done on an experiment is one more step towards knowing more than we knew before in a place that these are really unique experiments to do.
And briefly in other news, the US Federal Reserve has cut interest rates for the third time this year by 0.25%. Methanol has been ruled out as a potential cause of an alcohol-induced illness at a Fiji resort. And Adelaide bracing for a very hot Christmas day, the temperature predicted to climb to 35 degrees. Turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Jace Kemp.
And a good morning to you, Matthew. Reigning Big Bash champions, the Brisbane Heat, opened their campaign in style with an 8-wicket win over the Melbourne Stars. The Heat's Jimmy Pearson starring with the bat, blasting an unbeaten 72.
Pearson dances down, and that is crunch. Smashes into the side screen again.
Quality batting that.
And that audio thanks to Fox. Meanwhile, the Test series between Australia and India is locked at 1-1, with all eyes now turning to the crucial Boxing Day Test. To Formula One, and Sergio Perez has officially been axed by Red Bull after a disappointing season. Perez has been under pressure after Red Bull surrendered its Constructors' Championship to McLaren. Team principal Christian Horner says it's been a tough season for Checo.
There are flashes of old form in Azerbaijan, but unfortunately that didn't translate into points. So it's been a hugely frustrating campaign for him, and of course that's hurt us quite badly in the Constructors' Championship.
Former world number 1 tennis player Simona Halep has received a wildcard entry to the Australian Open, and there's been some wild scenes in the EPL Cup quarter-finals this morning. Gabriel Jesus has scored a hat-trick for Arsenal, helping the Gunners to a 3-2 win over Crystal Palace, while Liverpool leads Southampton 2-1 late in the second half. And that's the 5AA Sport.
5AA Traffic.
Morning there, getting busy in the usual spots for the driving this morning. Port Race Road at the Greenhill Road intersection, also sluggish this morning, South Road at Karata Park at Anzac Highway. Works to look out for tonight, Brighton, fixing a burst water main. How unsurprising. Brighton Road near Sturt Road, that'll get pretty slow this morning. And got a camera, Grange Road at Seaton. The KFC BBL opening week is here. Don't miss your Adelaide Strikers take on the Melbourne Stars at the Adelaide Oval tomorrow night. Search BBL tickets to book now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA forecast.
Start with your tiles first at Lifestyles. Open through Christmas and New Year. Lifestyles Lonsdale.
Sunny today and 34, perfect tomorrow 31, partly cloudy 29 Saturday, cooler for Sunday 25, right now 23. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
And we'll be in the chair for the next hour, and then we'll be handing over the reins to Graham Goodings, who'll be on with mornings through until midday. And we'll be back again tomorrow as well here on 5AA Breakfast. Been another great show so far. Had a lot of fun and plenty more to talk about this hour too, Jay.
Absolutely. We are going to be crowning the king and queen of Adelaide's turf.
We're asking, texts.
Yeah, we're asking for your text messages, the photos in particular of your lawn. 8044 808 1395. Got some great prizes to give away at the end of the show. And we've been talking about when you were kids, what antics did you get up to? Because on the back of my kids getting busted ding-dong ditching yesterday, which all ended in a bit of a laugh. They're only young kids. But it's taken us back down memory lane. Some beautiful sunrise photos coming in. I think I said sunset at this time yesterday. It's beautiful sunrise over Henley Beach and Glenelg. Some beautiful photos coming in. And it is that gorgeous time of the year where a lot of people are on holidays, spending time out and about, walking along the beaches, enjoying our beautiful state. Let's go to our next guest now, because something not so beautiful that's happened over the last couple of days is some vandalism. Puddle jumpers who do an incredible job with charity
Yep.
work in particular for children. They've been vandalised over an 8-year period, and they've struck again over the last couple of days, which is just a scumbag act. Joining us now is founder and CEO Melanie Tate. Good morning to you, Melanie.
Good morning.
This just stinks, and I just don't know why you would even think that this is a fun idea or a good idea. Why do you think you're being targeted, Melanie?
Honestly, I just purely think it is that a couple of neighbours are, not happy about our charity in their backyard. And the reality of it is kind of over the last 8 years, we've kind of just tolerated it and I guess kind of accepted and thought that maybe it would settle down after a while, that, we're not doing anything wrong. And I kind of have been joking about the fact that my 2 teen sons at home would make a lot more noise in our household than what, our office volunteers make at the offices. So I don't even really understand it.
So what happens? Is it car noise? Is it people dropping off? What do you think's annoying your neighbours?
Well, one of the most recent ones was we were packing a truck. Back in November, we had our volunteer awards night in the Lion Arts in the city, and the night before that, we were at the offices packing a truck until about 11:20, something like that, in the night. But I was there myself. Wasn't noisy. It wasn't overly loud. When the neighbour approached me and said that they were really unhappy about it at that night, I sort of explained to them. I said, when I go home 1 a.m. in the morning or whenever I've gone home, my roller door at home would be noisier than the noise we were making in the backyard there. And I said, that's in a residential area. That's the same kind of hindrance to our neighbours. I wouldn't tolerate our neighbours in our house, nor would anyone tolerate being abused and having their cars vandalised or anything like that because they've come home late at night. So I don't see why it's any different.
And it seems like you're getting attacked personally now as well. Cars are being vandalised, like you just mentioned. It's getting, quite destructive and quite personal.
Well, that's right. I think up until now, we've just kind of taken the thought process of quickly clean off graffiti, report it to police, take the photos and quickly clean it off and go about your business, and hopefully, things would settle down. But, it seems to have gotten a bit more aggressive, and that's where it seems to have gotten a bit more scary, where, my car was in the driveway of the charity, and we were there, and in broad daylight it was, spray painted. That to me is worrying about the escalation of the, concerns. And this week alone, I was unpacking a truck at 11 a.m. during the day from a recent young mums and bubs camp. I was in the backyard unpacking a truck, and one of the neighbours was screaming at me from the driveway.
Wow. Have you got cameras?
We had cameras up a while ago, and the reality of it is they just weren't able to capture what where any of those things are happening, like where the padlock is on the outside of the gate. It gets super glued shut all the time. I joked to somebody about the fact we have to carry bolt cutters around in our cars to be able to unlock the gates for volunteers, which is just ludicrous. And so the cameras weren't able to capture those things because it's on the other side of the fence, if that makes sense. So, I'm hoping that someone who knows a lot more about surveillance or those kinds of things might be able to offer some advice around a better system or some other way of doing it. But we absolutely have tried with the kind of Arlo cameras that you recharge and put up yourself, and it wasn't able to capture any of that because it was on the other side of the fence.
Melanie, tell us about Puddle Jumpers. For those that don't know the charity work that you do, it is a fantastic charity for kids and designed to help them out. What do you do and what do you need to help you this Christmas?
Well, we do a number of things. So we mostly work with children who don't live with their birth parents, and that's a staggering number in South Australia. It's in the 5,000 range, somewhere there, of kids that don't live with their mums and dads. And we provide holiday camps and day activities and mentoring and things like that. But we also provide food relief and support for vulnerable children and families. And like today's Christmas event for 1,000 children, there's children from all over the state, from, Nooryukta and Victor Harbour and Metro kids that are also coming to today's event as well. So lots and lots of things on the go.
This is what I just don't understand, Melanie. You've got this wonderful charity doing incredible things. It's not as if you're throwing a party until 3 a.m. in the morning. Don't your neighbours have somewhat of a heart to realise what you're doing? Maybe rather than throw abuse at you, maybe come across the road and go, hey, can I help pack your trucks and be a part of this?
Well, that's right. I mean, and I want to be really clear that like 99% of the Glandore community is actually very supportive. Yesterday, a lady that lives 2 doors down from us came and knocked on the door of the offices and said, just want to be really clear, I live 2 doors down. I have no problems with any noise. I've never heard anything. I just wanted to offer my support. And I know that some of the people, the residents, are a bit upset by the way that they're, I guess being depicted.
Yeah.
So it's not everybody in Glandore, and unfortunately it is a very small percentage, and that is probably also why we've kind of kept quiet about it up until now. But really, I mean, I got quite upset that it was, broad daylight, my car in the driveway. This is the 3rd time my car's been spray painted. The escalation is kind of what worried me, and then also the increase in the number of volunteers who turned up in tears saying, somebody had yelled at them in the street because they'd parked the car, somewhere that they didn't like it, even though it was completely legal
Yep.
safe public parking. The neighbour didn't like where they put the car, so they got screamed at, and their hubcap air valves were super glued shut. Those kinds of ridiculous things, and so it's costing volunteers time and money and energy, and and I guess they're probably feeling a bit more frightened.
And they might get to a point where they go, do you know what? This isn't actually worth volunteering my time anymore. So that could affect you in that way. You're also spending money that should be going to the charity on fixing it as well. Has it come to a point where you're actually starting to fear for your safety?
Well, and I think definitely some of the volunteers are feeling that way, and I think some of them have stopped volunteering at our offices for that reason, because I think they were just thinking exactly what you said. Why would you go and volunteer there to get harassed and feel like you're doing the wrong thing when you could volunteer for another charity down the road and not have any of those experiences?
And I guess you probably contemplated the thought of moving, but it's just so costly, isn't it, to up and move, and you don't want to almost sort of show that you're giving in to these people.
Well, that's right, and also, where we are is such a great space that it actually is really safe, because a lot of people have said, you're not in a main street, but actually when you've got vulnerable families, being not in a main street is actually a good thing. In the last year I had a son and a dad. I rocked up to work and a son and a dad were sitting on the front doorstep. They'd fled domestic violence. The son actually knew about puddle jumpers, and he told his dad to come to us. I can't imagine that being on a main road and having that happen. So it's actually been a really lovely thing, and I would think if you were a resident in that area, you'd be proud to know it's a safe haven for people like that who have fled for safety.
Absolutely. On that, because we have been talking about this topic over the last couple of days, Melanie, it is a time of year where domestic violence rises, unfortunately. Christmas is a really emotional time. If anyone finds themselves in a situation like the father and son you just mentioned, how can they get in contact with you, and what can you offer?
Yeah, sure. So our food relief programs is actually a really good point of contact, and that's happened lots of times. So our food relief programs are open 7 days a week at Hindmarsh in the middle of Port Road there, and they have food and emergency supplies there. So that's a really safe point of call, and our volunteers are trained in how to help people being able to tap into places like homelessness gateway or, domestic violence help and those kinds of things as well. So they can get immediate support in terms of, access to clothing and food and that kind of emergency stuff, but also they can access support in terms of how to get out of that situation.
Well, Melanie, we're getting a mountain of texts in support of you on our text line 0448 08 1395. This one from Andrew. You reckon the focus should be on those neighbours shouting at Melanie as being the perpetrators. Get some good auto sensor 4K CCTV cameras that alert your phone and place them in good spots. These people need to be caught and charged. That's from Andrew, and that's just one that sort of speaks to supporting you. So, look, stay strong. I think it's good that you're shedding some light on this story because enough is enough. So thank you for coming on this morning, and let's hope that they do get caught and this behaviour gets stopped immediately.
Thank you so much. That's awesome to hear.
Thank you, Melanie. Melanie Tate, founder and CEO of Puddle Jumpers. Lots of messages. What a disgrace. Unbelievable, miserable sods. Just wonder how people tick. Lighten up. That's from Helen. Puddle Jumpers do a great job, and graffiti on cars is just wrong. But fair's fair. Loading trucks at 11:30 p.m. There should be the same rules as a building site work hours. That's from John. Jade, why don't those Scrooges go and offer to volunteer and do something constructive rather than behave like criminals that they are? What a pack of disgusting lowlifes.
Keep those
Hear,
texts.
hear.
Yeah, keep those texts coming. 0448 08 1395. Time to check out the 5AA traffic.
Busy in the usual spots this morning. South Road at Karata Park starting to get busy. The freeway outbound at Leeward Gardens, just in the speed cameras. And the fixing a burst water main today at Brighton. Brighton Road is Sturt Road, so that'll get slow throughout the morning. Slow right now, Main North Road at Enfield with a camera to look out for Grange Road Seaton. Still stuck for gift ideas? No matter who you're shopping for, a Coles Group and My gift card is on everyone's wish list. Available in store now, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The news and information you need to start your day.
All the heavy hitters from the footy and entertainment industry have descended on Adelaide.
This incredibly positive story about South Australia is being beamed into every footy fan's home across the entire country.
And the Adelaide sport you want for the drive home.
Isaac Rankin has been handed 4 matches from the tribunal.
4.
Who wins the showdown and why?
This is about the fabric of our game.
5AA in 2025.
I wish we had Peter Malinauskas.
Always local. Always Adelaide.
There's naughty or nice, stunning and stylish, or tasty and tasteful. Merry Christmas, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth, and they're just 3 of the eye-popping Christmas gifts we make for you at Charlesworth Nuts. They're all overflowing with our amazing nuts and chocolates and made with great pride by our talented South Aussie team. With 100 different gift boxes, packs and hampers, there is literally something for everyone. You simply can't go wrong. 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
Harvey Norman Super Deals. Shop super savings on TVs, fridges, vacuums and more. TCL 75-inch smart TV now a super hot $893. Dyson Cyclone V10 stick vac now $688, save $60. Bose TV speaker now $293. Save $700 on Electrolux 609-litre French door fridge with ice and water. And save $350 on Fisher & Paykel 10-kilo washer. Harvey Norman Super Deals. Best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
This'll be music to your ears for Christmas. Derringers and Yamaha have teamed up to bring you some absolute Christmas cracker gift ideas. Like Yamaha's premium range of acoustic and electric guitars, digital pianos, and Yamaha acoustic and electric drums. Derringers have special Christmas packs available too, so all the hard work is done for you. Just starting out or getting back into it? Give the gift of music this Chrissy with Yamaha and Derringers. Derringers.com.au.
Imagine. It's something we all do every day. At SAMRI, our imaginings lead to medical breakthroughs for healthier futures. But we need your help, your donations. Check out samri.org.au.
Get ready for the summer holidays with a brand new BT50 from Mount Barker Mazda. Get Adelaide's best prices on fully loaded BT50s with immediate delivery. Every BT50 comes with a free tow package valued at $1,000 plus an Engel 80-litre fridge valued at over $2,000. Hurry, this Mazda BT50 deal must end December 31. T's and C's apply. Get the best of both worlds at Mount Barker Mazda with city prices and genuine country service. Mount Barker Mazda, Mount Barker Road, Totnes.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. It's back. The Bay Sheffield Carnival, SA's most prestigious foot race, returns to Collie Reserve Glenelg, December 28th and 29th. Visit baysheffield.org.au.
Know the news with Adelaide's 7 News. Don't miss Adelaide's leading news hour tonight at 6 o'clock.
Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
22 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is summer breakfast, and speaking we're sort of the fill-ins, aren't we, for David and Will, who are
We are.
off.
We're just keeping their seats warm for a teeny tiny little bit while
That's
they
it.
have a well-deserved break.
And someone who's going to be doing a brilliant job with Summer Drive starting next week is one of our favourites, Wayne Phillips.
Flipper!
Flipper, hello to you.
Good morning to you too. How are we doing?
Oh, we're so good. Great to hear from you. We're just going to start things off talking all things cricket. So the series tied up going into Boxing Day test. How do you like the Aussies' chances from here?
Look, I'm really concerned about that top order with the bat. I mean, it's just, we've got to give a bit of credibility to India. Their bowling has been just outstanding, but gee whiz, it's rickety, isn't it, that top order, apart from Travis, of course, but you look at the contributions, they've been minimal, and, they've got to get it right, and somehow they've got a week then to do that. And I just wonder if the selectors will make some decisions. Is there the chance that they might have to start looking and replacing some players? But to get it right over a 5-dayer at the MCG, that top order needs to be performing.
It's a huge test match now, isn't it, Flip? 1-1 with 2 to go. If they want to win the Border Gavaskar Trophy, they can't afford to drop this one starting on Boxing Day. I guess the big question is Nathan McSweeney. I've liked the way he's looked, his temperament. He looks to have all the right attributes, but he just can't sort of get away from those starts that he's making. I wonder whether or not they'll make a call. I hope they stick with him, but what are you thinking, Flip?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, well, the other thing, of course, the most important game they've got is the Boxing Day test. But then, we've got 2 more series coming up, a tour and then to Sri Lanka, and then they've got to play some more, and then it's the Ashes test.
Yeah.
Do we need to be the Ashes series? Do we need to start looking at making sure we've got it right for that? I mean, does the progress need to happen? Do we need to start changing that order around? We need to see some new players, giving them the opportunity and getting that top order established for what's going to be a 5-test series at home against England this time next year.
Well, the one I think, Flip, I think if they want to be bold, and it might be a bit controversial, but I think Usman Khawaja, age 37, I think he's done. I think the feet and the eyes, and you know better than anyone, you played at the very highest level, you get to a point where everything, you just don't work as quickly as you used to, and to me, I think he's lost it.
He just doesn't look sharp, does he? I mean, that was the great strength of his play. Was so well organised and sharp, and get up the other end when he needed to, and hit a 4 when he could. And it's just not happening. He looks to be guessing, or the opposition bowling has got him guessing. And as you say, 37. Well, he had his birthday yesterday, so he's 38. And it's just getting a bit. He's certainly getting towards the end of his time. And is it time for the transition to start occurring and get this? Let them have a taste and get a feel and make sure we get it right for the upcoming series.
And Travis Head, I think we're all hoping, you mentioned he's been the one shining light in that top order, along with Steve Smith in this test, but gee whiz, they want that groin to be right, don't they? They can't afford for him to be out of this next test match.
Gee, if he misses, I mean, if it looks like Joshua Hazlewood's gone, so he's out. So, but with the batting, if he's popped a little groin or whatever it was, I mean, they'll need to be looking after him, but they'll also need to manage it because he's their top player as well, Trav. So they need him to be in. I think if he's 85% fit, he's playing. And Trav will want to play if he's 65% fit, but they need to manage that process as well and make sure they can get that right. So there's some questions being asked of the Aussie selectors, and it's time for them to make some decisions and give us as viewers, those who love the game or watch the game and want to see. It's time that I think the transition needs to start occurring for us to be right for the next period of time.
Flip, cannot wait for you on Summer Breakfast. I'm sure you've got a big Christmas plan, so cannot wait to tune in next week and listen to you from 4 o'clock each and every night.
What's your description of tomorrow, Tommy, Jade? Can you describe tomorrow for me?
Weather-wise, Friday?
No. What the word tomorrow? What does that mean? Where does that come from?
Oh, God knows.
I'm not sure.
Where's this going?
KG. I spoke to him Tuesday. He wants to catch up, and he said on Tuesday, I was up in Brisbane, I'll ring you tomorrow. He said that on Tuesday. Now, it's now Thursday. Yeah, so where does
a few more tomorrows. Tomorrow's times 3.
Okay. Oh, tomorrow plural. Sorry, I just had a singular word. Okay.
Yeah, no, KG's got a completely different dictionary for him.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll wait. Yeah, tomorrow. Well, I thought that was that was the day after when we had arranged the. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Good on you, Flip. You're a good man. Look forward to catching up.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. And we'll follow up on
mean next year.
Yeah, exactly right. It is 8:28.
This afternoon between midday and 1 p.m, 5AA's 1395 AM broadcast signal will be temporarily interrupted for required maintenance works at the transmitter site. To continue listening, tune in via DAB digital radio. Use the 5AA player app or stream live from the website at 5AA.com.au. Regular AM broadcasting will resume from 1 p.m. Thank you for listening, and we apologise for any inconvenience.
Tonight, if you get absolutely and end up with some weird, we don't care. Just don't drive home. Go out responsibly this silly season with Dee.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hello, I'm Nick Mastro, Managing Director of Distinctive Funerals. From me and my team, may you and your family have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You don't want to make us part of your holiday plans. Do me a favour, drive safe. Spend quality time with your family so we can spend it with ours. But if you do need us, call us 8241 5151. Distinctive Funerals, by your side, helping you cherish a life.
Now, Jade, with Christmas just around the corner, you and I both know the gift-giving season is well and truly in full swing. And there's one person who deserves a gift more than anyone else. You. So what better way to treat yourself than with some stylish new Smeg appliances from Adelaide Appliance Gallery.
With up to 20% off selected Smeg appliances, you'll be able to treat yourself to the iconic Italian brand that prioritises colour, design and technology. Whether you're in the market for toasters and kettles or cooktops and ovens, Adelaide Appliance Gallery has you covered.
And an offer like this obviously has some terms. It's an amazing offer, conditions and exclusions, which you can check by heading to adelaideappliancegallery.com.au. Adelaide Appliance Gallery, 155 Paynham Road in St Peters.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 34 today with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Merry Christmas from the team at FIVEAA Extra's 6 locations, open across the festive season. PhysioExtra.com.
A local tomato grower seeking millions of dollars in compensation after a virus brought the business to a standstill. Perfection Fresh placed in quarantine in September. The government forcing the closure. It's now lodged a claim for more than $20 million, citing loss of revenue, destroyed crops, operational disruptions and disinfection. The state government maintains the action was necessary. Extended shopping hours begins tonight in the lead up to Christmas. Rundle Mall, Marion and Tea Tree Plaza will stay open until midnight tonight. The mall will also trade until midnight tomorrow and Monday as well. Mall Executive Director Andrew White says they're in for a big day.
We're expecting somewhere in the area of $35 million to be spent in the last 5 days and 900,000 people to be coming through the mall. So, it's no surprise. We've got, 700 retail stores.
Efforts to bolster Australia's defence capabilities are running well behind schedule. A report by the Auditor-General shows dozens of projects are running at a combined total of 37 years late. Costs have also blown out by $40 billion. A comprehensive data set has been released designed to give policymakers a better snapshot at the number of Australians living with a disability. The source has been designed to improve lives, health services and the families of those with a disability. Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth says it'll be a game changer.
This is a world first about having the data that's linked up that gives us a really good picture of people with disabilities' lives. For example, how they access healthcare services.
The US Federal Reserve has cut the country's official interest rate by 0.25% in a bid to keep the country's economy stable. Officials are predicting higher than expected inflation in the new year. There have been sharp drops on Wall Street in response. The Dow almost 2.5% down and the Nasdaq more than 3%. Author John Marsden has died aged 74. He's best known for his 1993 novel Tomorrow, When the War Began, and the series that followed. The Alice Miller School, which Marsden also founded, confirmed he died at his desk at home, doing what he loved, writing. It's going to be a hot Christmas day in Adelaide. John Fisher from the Bureau says they're forecasting 35 and sunny.
They've changed a little bit for Boxing Day. It was potentially a hot one then, but it looks like now we might start to cool off with a change coming through either late on Christmas Day or into Boxing Day.
Street EV charging has been rolled out in parts of Victoria. The chargers are being installed on power poles, giving motorists better access to quick top-up charging for little or no cost. City Power, Powercore and United Energy involved in the installations. Head of Network Energy Services, Dan Bai, says if all goes to plan, the initial stages will be expanded.
So the original trial that we're looking to kick off shortly will install 100 chargers around both Mornington Peninsula, the City Power area, the Melbourne City, and then down along the Surf Coast into Geelong.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Jace Kemp.
And a good morning to you, Matthew. The test series between Australia and India is now locked at 1-1 as attention turns to the Boxing Day test. Despite rain restricting the third test at the Gabba, Aussie skipper Pat Cummins says Australia did everything on the final day to try and force a result.
Really proud of everyone going out there and trying to win the test match. You know, we're big on buying into a game plan and a style, and yeah, they all went out there with good intent.
In the Big Bash, reigning champions, the Brisbane Heat opened their season with an 8-wicket win over the Melbourne Stars. To racing, and Sergio Perez has officially been axed by Red Bull after a horror season. New Zealand driver Liam Lawson is firming as the favourite to replace him on the grid. The Brisbane Lions have locked in AFL Premiership coach Chris Fagan until the end of 2027, while the Crows have secured Luke Nankervis for another 3 seasons, and Hayden Young has signed a mega deal with Fremantle, keeping him at the club until 2033. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Checking the roads around Adelaide now.
Getting busy in the usual spots this morning. Main North Road at Enfield coming into the city. South Road at Karata Park busy just near the Anzac Highway underpass. And fixing up a burst waterway at the moment at Brighton. Brighton Road near Sturt Road, that'll get slow throughout the morning. Slow right now. The freeway outbound of Leeward Gardens just near the speed cameras there. And got a camera, Heathslip Road at Angle Vale. Fires, floods, severe weather, heat waves, hazardous materials and total fire bans. Stay informed with the Alert SA app. Download the app today and get a heads up from danger. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA forecast.
Start with your tiles first at Lifestyles. Open through Christmas and New Year. Lifestyles Lonsdale.
Sunny days ahead, 34 today, 31 tomorrow, partly cloudy, 29 Saturday, cooler for Sunday, 25. Right now it is 25 degrees. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Oh, so much to do, so little time. I've got to go pay the deposit at Just Spas, pick up the click and collect from JB Hi-Fi, pop into Adairs, get Dad's birthday present from the Weber store, meeting Mum at Floor World, and then got to go to Plush, Dairymet and Aussie.
I've told you before, it's all at Jepp's Cross Home HQ.
Even Aussie?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Jepp's Cross Home HQ.
Oh, can you grab me lunch from Subway while you're there?
Will do.
Yes. Goodbye, burnt toast.
This year has made us stop and reflect on what's really important. And if ever there was a time to focus on our health and well-being, it's now. Hi, Sharon from Temple Day Spa. You know, it is so important to take time to nurture our health and well-being. Now take a moment to think about a gift for someone who really needs this. This Christmas, give them the gift of time. Time for themselves with a gift voucher from Temple Day Spa. Unley and now open in Semaphore. Not just a treatment, an experience.
On the first day of Christmas, Wayville Hyundai gave to me 3 years of free servicing. Every in-stock vehicle sold this December comes with 3 years of free servicing, plus a surprise from under our Christmas tree. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
25 degrees at the moment. It is a beautiful morning. Got to be another stunning day here in Adelaide. It is Jade Robran and Tom Wren through until 9 o'clock this morning.
We have got an incredible story of survival here. Our next guest, a married couple, they got stranded and stalked by a crocodile in the Gulf of Carpentaria. A freak flood has just come out of nowhere. And let's let our next guest tell the story. Tony Fogg, welcome to the program. Have you bought a lotto ticket yet?
We haven't ourselves. We've actually, good morning, by the way. We've had
some lovely people when we were brought back to the town of Normanton by the rescue chopper. We were in the hospital for a few days to be checked over, etc. A couple of lovely workers there bought us lotto tickets. I'm pleased to report we won $17.60.
Hey, you can retire.
That's not bad.
That's a few beers, mate.
I don't really understand the logic. I figure we've used all our luck up, so a lotto ticket probably is a bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened.
Well, we were on our way. We've been working up in the Northern Territory for the last 6.5, almost 7 years, doing store management and community development work in Aboriginal communities. We were going to a place called Cowan-Yarma up in the Gulf in Queensland, because we're Queenslanders. We were trying to get back to Queensland. And made our way from Normanton to Cowan-Yarma, or we were trying to, and as we were crossing a small creek, which is across the road, it's a normal crossing, nothing to think of, less than a foot of water in our four-wheel drive, and as we drove across, a wall of about a metre of water hit us from the side and took us down the river, and before we knew it, the car was filling up with water. We couldn't get the doors and windows open because it's a newer car, a newer Land Cruiser, and it was inundated from the outside and then filled up on the inside. At the last moment, about 2 inches of air left inside the car. We my wife got the passenger window open and we all scrambled out. Lisa scrambled out and clung to the back of the car. By then the water was over the roof of the car. And I grabbed one of the dogs. We've got two heelers, a red and a blue heeler. I grabbed the blue heeler as I went out the window and then had to swim back into the car to grab the red heeler, which was already completely underwater. She was holding her breath. And then we all escaped the car and then had to swim across this now raging river to the bank and scramble up the bank. So we just made it outside of the car. And then we were stuck in the bush for the next 3 days with nothing because everything was in the car, which was underwater.
Unbelievable. And these were croc-infested waters too, I believe, too, Tony?
Yeah, look, everywhere up there is croc-infested. It's a bit like a gun's always loaded. The water in the northern areas of Australia have always got crocs in them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, plenty of crocs.
Tell us about your James Bond moment.
Well, it was... we're getting to the point where we couldn't get the windows or doors open. The car's filling up. There's about 2 inches of air left. Ready to take your last breath and then try and figure out how the hell you're going to get out of the car. Because I've got my wife and the dogs in the car with me. And then we had an Oprah moment. Actually, I'll let Lisa tell the story.
I remembered. Good morning.
Good morning,
Hello. I remembered years ago on Oprah, there was a lady on and she mentioned that with electronic cars, once all the electrics go and on the where the water's coming from side, the window will give. And, like, we're all frantic, and then there's just this moment of clarity. So I hit the button on for the however many time on the window, and all of a sudden there was a little bit of air, and I thought, oh, my God! And now I've got the window down. So thank you, lady on Oprah, because that window came down and that was life. Because, you know, we all thought this is it. So thank goodness for Oprah, and we scrambled out exactly like a James Bond movie. But there was no, evil guy, thank God.
But it's extraordinary to think like that in a moment where it's all happening, you're panicking, your mind's racing, you've literally got seconds left. I mean, wow, it's literally life and death, isn't it?
It was. And that was just the car, like getting out of the flipping car. Then we had to then proceed to try and stay alive for the next however many days until someone could come and get it.
And so you wrote SOS, you've been stalked by crocodiles. Talk us through these 3 days. How did you stay alive? I mean, you've basically had your legs bitten off by mozzies.
Yes, I did. I say I fought the mosquitoes, Tony fought the crocodile. When we first got up to the road, Tony got the dogs and I into shade and went looking. We found 3 cans, a Coke can, a Borex Gold can and a UDL lemon and lime. And Tony only had a little box cutter knife, cut the top off those so we could actually get fresh water for 3 days, which was, if you've got water, you can keep going.
Yeah.
But food-wise, there was nothing. It was all scrubby bush. But the first night we slept on the side of the road. The second night, Tony built a beautiful little humpy with all the leaves and everything. We're all there thinking, oh, this is lovely. And then we had a thunderstorm come from one side and a thunderstorm come from the other side and dump a heap of water. But because of that, the next day Tony could actually put the SOS in the road.
And who found you?
Life Flight. We were, when we go on any of these trips, everybody knows where we're going. We always check in. I have Find My Phone, so all my family and Tony's mum can see where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And it just dropped sort of the last pinpoint, and we didn't show up at the other end. So because we've got all those things into place, everybody was trying to get to us. Unfortunately, the wave that hit Clark Creek also hit all the other rivers along, so nobody could actually drive in. And we sort of figured that by the end of the second day, that was definitely what was happening. So we were just basically hoping that there was going to be a chopper from the sky, which there was, thank God, on the third day.
Did you feel like this is it? We could die out here?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it was starting to get that way. I've got a lot of experience in survival and all that sort of thing, and we're pretty seasoned travellers in that sort of area. But every time I went, we were away from the bank by a good 100 metres or so, but not too far away from the water. Far enough away, I thought, even if a large croc did come up, we had time to get up and scramble away from it. But every time I went down to get water, which was pretty much on an hourly basis, I had to go down to the same spot where there's 3.5 or 3.2 metre croc was hanging around and looking at us. The first time I went down for water, I went down to the water to fill up the cans, and it was looking straight at me about 10 metres away. So we spent the first night making sure it didn't come up the bank. Had micro sleeps, and if I did fall asleep, one of the dogs would bark if the croc started to come out of the water. I'd made myself a pointy stick. And then we basically just kept up the water and tried to stay in shelter. Learned from our countrymen in all the Aboriginal communities we've been in to not do anything during the hot part of the day, which is pretty much most of the day. And just, hung on. But I could see the signs of hunger in my wife and the two dogs, and the water was making my wife sick. So it was, it was looking pretty dire there by the third day.
It's extraordinary. So what are you sort of planning now? You're trying to get back to the Gold Coast, but I imagine you're starting from scratch again, aren't you? You would have lost all your possessions, all your belongings. It's going to be hard yakka.
Yeah, we didn't just have our holiday supplies or anything with us. We were actually planning on going to Kaonyama for at least a year, so we had everything we owned except for our large furniture items, which are in storage. It's we have nothing else, so we've actually just hit the Gold Coast yesterday afternoon.
Yay.
So we're here with family, and we're just wrapping our heads around the priorities, even down to things like just underpants and, nail clippers or a pair of glasses. Well, I've got to go and get glasses again. I've got to get, T-shirts and shorts and everything you use on a daily basis just to do your normal daily routines, plus anything else you can think of. So we're trying to prioritise that and see what we can get to begin with. We've had a few generous donations through our GoFundMe page already, so we're able to go for a bit of a basic shop this morning. And then I suppose we just chip away after that. We've lost licenses, passports, birth certificates, Medicare cards, all that sort of stuff as well. So just step by step at the moment.
And that GoFundMe page is SOS Outback Rescue couple Tony and Lisa Fogg. You can jump on and support the guys. But do you know what? When you say all those things, it sounds like a headache, but it's a good problem to have, that you're alive. I bet those cuddles with your family and that first beer tasted all right, Tony.
100%. Oh, yeah, I don't think it even touched the sides the first few. Nice to be back in the arms of our family, but we've got to say the town of Normanton that took us in at the hospital, but then we were there for a few more days to try and arrange to get out of there. It was such a beautiful place to be. The people were so friendly and so generous. It was like a big warm country hug. We can't say enough good things about all the people in Normanton. They were fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing how people in times of crisis really wrap their arms around each other. It's a great tale. I think it'll be a documentary or a movie one day, guys. It's an extraordinary story.
Yeah, who do you want to play you?
We've already discussed that, actually. Lisa says Julia Roberts, so I thought if she's getting Julia Roberts, I want Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a pretty good match. I like that.
Probably be a bit more Denise got John Jarrett, but, you know.
That'd actually be hilarious. That'd be good.
Not reprising Wolf Creek again, though, hopefully.
No.
Oh, we're thrilled to be able to talk to you and hear your story of survival, guys. Look after yourselves and have a bloody brilliant Christmas.
We are definitely going to be having a very big Christmas this Christmas because we had a German friend and 2 Irish friends that were in Kawanyama that really put up because a lot of people thought we were with our car and we weren't with our car. But they were going, they're not with the car, they're not with the car. So they'll actually be with us at Christmas. We haven't seen them since. So it's going to be a big Christmas.
Oh, that's brilliant. Good on you. We'll enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Tony and Lisa, thank you so much. And as I said, you can jump onto that GoFundMe page, SOS Outback Rescue. What a story
It's
that
amazing,
is.
isn't it?
That only happened a couple of weeks ago and they've only just landed at home now.
Yeah, because we had those amazing floods, didn't we, just a few weeks ago. So incredible. It is 11 minutes to 9.
Getting busy in the usual spots this morning. South Road at Anzac Highway intersection. Busy right now too. Main North Road at Enfield. Slow. The freeway outbound at Leawood Gardens just near the speed cameras. And speaking of speed cameras, got one Port Road at Queenstown right now. Westwood Marion, Tea Tree Plaza and West Lakes will be open till midnight tonight and until 9 tomorrow night for your Christmas shopping needs. Expect hundreds of offers, events, entertainments and more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
I'm high! The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, and right now you can tuck into a schnitty and a pint for just $22 in the front bar. Not bad, hey? That's a schnitty and a pint for just $22, only in the front bar. Make sure you check out their $20 jugs of the month too, plus live acoustic music every Saturday and Sunday from 5 till 8 p.m. The Excelsior Hotel feels like home, but better. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Steinborner Hyundai has always been well worth a trip, and now there's another great reason to visit. Hyundai's full range of hybrids. Steinborner Hyundai has a hybrid to suit every driver, from the hybrid i30, the Kona, the Tucson, as well as the all-new Santa Fe hybrid family-sized SUV. Experience the difference at Steinborner Barossa and Clare, with outstanding service and a great range of vehicles. And you'll see why. Steinborner Hyundai is well worth the trip. Steinborner.com.au.
Are you an event space like a wedding venue, sports club or restaurant? If so, you are probably well acquainted with plastic trestle tables. You know the ones, they don't line up properly, so when you push them together they don't fit. They have bung legs and slanting tabletops and they take your event space from a 10 to a 7.5.
Well, Jade, the good thing is I'm the bearer of good news for you this morning because Scott's Custom Furniture crafts sturdy, stable and level trestle tables made from beautiful Australian timber. In fact, they're so nice, covering them with a tablecloth, it actually feels wrong.
If you're after trestle tables that'll last a lifetime, search for Scott's Custom Furniture and get in touch today. And if you're a carpenter, furniture maker or looking to learn an apprenticeship, they're looking for people to join their small dynamic team, so give them a buzz.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're on the hunt for the best student devices, look no further than Harvey Norman. They've got everything from Windows and Chromebooks to Apple computers, all in stock and ready to go. You'll find the biggest range of Windows brands like HP, Acer, Asus and Lenovo. Plus, they've got the latest next-gen AI computers with over 20 hours of battery life. Perfect for school. If you're on a budget, check out their affordable Chromebooks with options under $500. And don't forget about their huge range of accessories and software for both work and education. Need help? Their expert salespeople understand exactly what you need for school computers.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. Drive away in the Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai from just $46,990 drive away. T's and C's apply.
5AA Summer Breakfast.
Tom Wren and Jade Robran.
We are on the home stretch here this morning on 5AA Breakfast. It's Thursday, the 19th of December, 8 minutes to 9 o'clock. Jade, a little bit earlier this morning, the police spoke to us about an attempted break-in at a jewellery store.
Yeah, masked robbers, they smashed their way through the glass door of a Walkerville jewellery store. They've left a trail of destruction. It was, in fact, Class A Jewellers, and joining us is owner of Class A Jewellers in Walkerville there, Brad Mucklow. Thank you, Brad, so much for joining us. Can you talk us through what's happened?
Hello, Jade. I think you're putting me to the test as well, because I was bragging to you 2 weeks ago how good our security was.
I know, we were literally 2 weeks ago talking about
Yeah.
this brand new renovation that you've just done, and bang, they've hit you overnight.
Yeah, well, they have, but luckily for us, we've got very good security. As I was telling you, our windows, they tried to get through, and they couldn't. So we were very lucky. We spent a lot of money on our windows, our security, our cameras, and it's all come to fruition because they didn't get in. If they had got in, there was nothing in here to steal. It's so frustrating because everything is packed away at night in our vault. So, yeah, the effort and the damage that they do to get no reward is just frustrating.
So what's the mess they've left behind today? Where have they tried to get in?
They've tried to smash one window on the street in Fuller Street, and they've smashed our main foyer entry doors, which are just normal standard doors. But then they've got in through them after they've smashed those, and they've attempted to get through our main door, our main glass door, and we spent a lot of money on that. That weighs 400 kilos, and it's 16 mil thick. It's a special armoured glass, and they couldn't get through that. They tried, and yeah, it's just comforting to know that they didn't get in and they couldn't get in. And then the police have basically told me this morning they've been able to identify one of the suspects from video, part of our video footage, and it's very, very clear. Our cameras extend further down the street than people think. So we are able to pick up and watch and provide the police with very good footage. And it's comforting to know that, you know, you think when you spend all that money, you think it's a lot of money to spend, but it's certainly come to fruition when something like this happens because no one can get in.
Absolutely. It's a real deterrent, isn't it? We're just having a look at some of the stills now on our Facebook live stream, which the listeners at home can watch as well. That is great news. So if you hopefully can find or locate one of these suspects, you would think police would be pretty confident of apprehending the others too, Brad.
Definitely, Tom. Yeah, it's comforting to say that the police have been able to identify someone. So, yeah, whether what happens from here, who knows? I don't know. But it's just a pointless exercise at 2:30 in the morning, and it's also Christmas week. But look, we get on with trading. There's no impact to our store. We'll remove the door. We'll have to put up a temporary secure wooden structure, which we will do today, and yeah, we'll just trade as normal. So nothing in the store has been affected. Everything is still secure, and we just trade as normal.
Well, you do such an... I know Jay was there a couple of weeks ago. I've got my 2 rings, which I got from you guys at Class A Jewellers. I mean, you do an amazing job, so people should get out there and support you because you just do incredible stuff, and we're so glad to hear that everything's okay.
Brad, when you watch the CCTV vision, we've just seen stills there, but I mean, what are they carrying? Are they carrying backpacks? Have they come with tools to talk us through what the vision shows?
Well, they've got backpacks and they've got hammers and they've got other bars or whatever they're using. I haven't honestly looked at the footage too much. There was my son who was with me, Josh, this morning. He's gone through it all. But I've just looked at the hammer that they've been using in another bar, and they certainly had some equipment here to try and get through. So they picked on the wrong place, really.
Because it's shotgun proof and ram raid proof, isn't it? That glass.
It is, yeah, and it cost a lot of money. And I remember telling you that, and yeah, it's. crazy how it's come around that it's
Just 2
proven
weeks
itself.
later.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good investment, and look, hopefully it's a message. Don't even bother. I mean, it's stupid, and you're gonna feel the full force of the law. So, Brad, thank you for coming on and sharing those pictures and sharing the story. And business moves on, and hopefully people can get out there and support you up until the lead up until Christmas.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. And the Wren family are like royalty here too, aren't they? With your grandma, she was here for a long time.
Loved it.
Yep.
She lived around the corner, and only recently passed away, but all the family still go there. So thank you so much for everything you do.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you,
Jade.
Brad. Merry Christmas to you and Josh, your son. They do a beautiful job there. Literally 2 weeks ago, Brad was telling me that every Grand Prix they would get ram raided. There'd be a group that would come in from interstate, and every year, and then it's like we put it out to the universe, didn't we? Because here we are today talking about it. But business as usual.
Yep, that's
and
right.
good that nothing was stolen,
No
and
one's injured.
those little bastards will get.
They'll get caught. Yep, exactly. And the full brunt of the law hopefully will catch up with them. Jade, another great show. We'll look forward to doing it again tomorrow. And
see everyone.
Graham Gooding's coming up after the 9 o'clock news. Have a great day, folks.